guys laughing about? We can't even start the show. Cohh's gone for 1 week, and Zeke, you just let them run the show. They're just laughing during the intro. What's going on? What are you laughing at?
No, DatModz was like, when you say like, all right, I'm unmuting, and he goes, are we unmuting? I'm like, yeah, dude, that's exactly what he just said, bro. Like, we're unmuted.
Look, hey, I'm just looking for a double check, just making sure we're live, not just live.
Double check.
Yeah. Mods is new to these social situations, okay? He doesn't talk to other people a lot of the times. It's just how it goes. It's just how it is. Cohh's gone.
ARPG streamer life.
That's right. Yeah, it's the ARPG streamer life. Exactly. Cohh is at Disney World? Land? Which one is he at?
I think he's California, so Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Oh my God, he's here. He's in my backyard.
Yep. We can go hang out with them. Shroud, go do it.
I'm going to go to the worst Disney.
I would say it is the worst Disney. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would it's pretty bad.
That's fair.
Like in the grand scheme of Disney's. There's only 2.
As someone who's been to both recently, I gotta say, like, they both have their merits. Like, you got Disney World, it's got Epcot, it's got lots of cool stuff. But Anaheim is not in Florida. So that's huge positive.
That is true. That is true. Mods, by the way, where are you calling in from? Where do you live once again?
Oh, I live in Florida, right by Disney World.
Yeah.
Hey, I take offense to that, buddy. Calm down.
Florida man
I'm just trying to push toward them here.
Florida man is actually Mods. Believe it or not, they're always just story about Mods. I don't get it, but he gets around. He's all over the place. You might have already heard the voices and heard us say the name. We got Shroud and DatModz, aka Mods, to fill in for the spots. Shroud, you've decided to play video games while we talk. So to be honest, you're really fulfilling the Cohh role because he does that every week. He just doesn't stream his games like you're currently doing.
Yeah. I've seen every time I watch, I swear I see Cohh's eyes dart around like he's gaming. And now it's good to know that that's true. Yeah, yes. I'm replacing him right now.
Yep. You both have the attention span of a young child, so you have to have stuff to fiddle with in front of you. That's how it is.
What can you do?
Yeah, I get it. I get it. How's Crimson Desert? What are you doing right now in Crimson Desert?
Well, since I wanted to focus more on the conversation and not about actual Crimson Desert, I'm going to just kind of run around, kill some normal bandits, not do anything fun, no bosses, no mains, no nothing. Okay. So I'm just going to run around on my world and just do that and just a little explore. Maybe a puzzle or 2.
Oh, okay. If you need some help, we got you. We'll do a group puzzle solution solving. It'll be fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew this, but JP has an alter ego.
Yeah, I do. I have multiple alter egos. I'm actually
like
freaked
what's
like
the alter
that.
ego? Like Puzzle Master?
Well, I've got PJ. He comes out when I'm being really fucking competitive and racist and things like that. And then I've also got the puzzler, who's a puzzler.
Wait, you're racist?
No, I didn't. Mods, I didn't say that.
Oh. So that called me racist the other day.
No. When he's being competitive in a racing game.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
when you play a racing game, you're a racist.
I've got a wheel and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, some guy called me racist the other day because I was listening to Michael Jackson. But so.
What?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that was just some guy told me. Yeah. Yeah.
Twitch chat in a nutshell right there.
Yeah. So I'm still trying to put that together, but.
Wait,
yes.
But how did you ask him like on which side you're racist against?
Nope.
Were you listening to the song Black or White? Like, how did he even? I'm very curious. You got to get this guy on the phone, Mods. I'm very curious about his decision thinking.
Yeah, I don't know the logic behind it, but it had me stumped for a while. It kind of became a channel meme now whenever I listen to Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Honestly, the more you start questioning Twitch chatters, it's just the deeper the hole gets. It's not worth it.
It is true.
You let them do their thing.
Yeah, it is true. It is true. Well, we typically start with news here on the show, so I guess we could just slide into that. We've got some really happy stuff here right at the start. Epic Games is laying off 1,000 workers this past week.
Oh, you lied!
And
I thought I was gonna be happy. Actually,
one of those people happened to be someone that I think is a brain cancer patient, and now he no longer like just just awful shit. He
Uh,
no longer has health care, just bad stuff coming out of that whole thing. Jason Schreier was the one to break it. I think another person that was let go was also the artist that like made the main Fortnite character design. The little like Fortnite dude, the white guy with the smile, whatever his name is. 1,000 people though. That's kind of fucking insane. The industry, obviously, that's been the focus of that past week or of the past week. And yeah, Mr. Fortnite. That's right, chap.
Mr. Fortnite, John Fortnite.
John Fortnite. Yeah, it's just not a good thing. Like that's crazy that 1,000 people were just laid off.
Did it specify why they were laid off, or just some
because
generic kind of
Fortnite's not making as much money as it once was.
Oh wait, they actually said that?
Yeah, the company is, quote, spending significantly more than we're making, and we have to make major cuts to keep the company funded.
Yeah, like downtrending revenue.
That's why everyone was That's why everyone was talking about how there was a lot of controversy I saw with this exact conversation, that people were upset at like the Fortnite creator program and all that, because they pay out a lot to creators and map makers and all this stuff, and just they give a lot back to the community. So I think I saw a lot of controversy about like, why didn't you just cut some of that and keep the employees? I saw that kind of.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Sweeney's also worth $5.1 billion. So like, I don't know, maybe take a hit, Tim. Yeah, I think that's enough money. I think you're good. Yeah. Maybe take a little bit of a hit for a little while.
Well, this always inevitably brings up that so what was some head of Nintendo was like, I'd rather take a pay cut than, lose employees that are, propped up the company for years and stuff like that. Like that's what you want to see, right? That's what you want to see happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is Merca, so like,
yeah.
Sometimes you just need 3 yachts, and some guy can't have his health care during his cancer treatment. That's just how it goes here.
It is true. Look, I get it. I get it. Yeah.
It's kind of sad to see though, because something that's been affecting the entire game industry right now. Even like AGS, with them laying off their MMO division, which kind of like pivots, right? They just did another round of layoffs, and a lot of good people lost their jobs, and less MMOs too, which is for me the bad thing. I love MMOs.
Yeah, I saw and it's not like it was a unique take, but Chet Falasek, who used to work, I think I'm saying his name right. He used to work at Valve. He's responsible for like Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2, and worked on Half-Life and all that stuff. But he had a rather impassioned, I think it was like a TikTok short. Or that's redundant. I think he had a TikTok. And he was basically saying like, every time that they do this, they're essentially firing what is important about like video game and video game developers and studios, is that you keep your talent. And the talent iterates on itself and constantly learns and evolves and grows. And like, that's how you get a good game company. It's not about like just having 1,000 people come in there and make shit and then letting them go. You keep the good team, right, intact. And that's, he commented like, that's kind of how Valve does it. And I think he even made the comment like, Gabe is a much better leader than you are, Tim. Like, he just like went at his throat. So yeah, he's not wrong. I agree with it wholeheartedly. Like, I think the Blizzard of old, right? That was kind of what they did. They had their team.
Yeah.
And the people that made WoW, the people that made Warcraft 3, those are all kind of the same ilk. They're all a part of the same company. Most of those people don't work there anymore, because they've been let go or told like Jeff Kaplan was, that he has to make X amount of money, or we're going to fire this many people. That was a big podcast thing this past month. So
yeah, that was pretty wild to hear that. The portion of the interview, man, just holding that over his head. Man, all those people's livelihood that you care about rely on your product over there.
Yeah,
the big thing hanging over your head all the time. But also, I guess that stems into like when you have a small independent studio, then when you go into publicly traded, right? Because you're no longer just operating for yourself, you're operating to serve your investors, right? So that kind of changes the culture of the studio quite a bit.
Yeah,
right. It just suits pushing everything instead of just people aspiring to create something.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly it. Schreier actually had a lot of articles this past week. He also put out that exact budgets of video game productions can be tough to corroborate, but the numbers he's heard floating around AAA game dev these days are $300 million or more, sometimes much more, which he thinks can explain the current state of the industry. So, yeah, that's a lot of money to make a thing. Do you think we'll ever hear the number for how much GTA 6 is costing?
I feel like we will. I feel like it'll be so crazy big that
I mean, it's got to be $1 billion, right?
I think it's over. I think people already know it's $2 billion and up.
That's insane,
right? Because GTA, I'm pretty sure GTA 5. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they almost spent like $1 billion on just licensing.
God, yeah,
right. That's crazy.
It's absolutely crazy. Maybe even crazier to think that they're going to make that money back. At least they're betting on it, right? They're hoping that whenever that does come out, they're going to sell enough over X amount of years and sell multiplayer coins or whatever the fuck the GTA MTX is called, that they're going to make it all back. So
yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be larger than the GDP of some small countries, to be honest.
You're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong.
The real question is, will Grand Theft Auto actually live up to people's expectations? I feel it's so hyped. Like, people are expecting to do the best in ever hit gaming.
I don't. What even is the expectation of GTA 6 at this point?
Everything.
Yeah, like it. If it's not the greatest fucking thing ever created, it's a failure, right? Like it's going to be a weird conversation around that launch. And
I had a conversation with my stream about how like everyone's expectations now are super high, and that's why we see so many games instantly get review bombed, because like they're just not perfect.
Yeah.
So what if GTA 6, this game that's been in development for like a decade and $2 billion plus and counting, isn't perfect? Is it also going to get review bombed, or is it just going to be biased because GTA? I'm really curious to see what happens. If it even ever comes out.
It'll be a shit show regardless of what happens, I think.
Unless it is 100% perfect and it fits everybody, I don't see it coming out. Like, it might turn around like Crimson Desert. Like, they might turn it around eventually, but like, or after a few weeks or whatever. But when it drops, for like, the comments are just gonna be like, $2,080,000,000 out of my pocket for this.
Yeah.
With that $80 confirmed price for GTA 6.
Wait, is that confirmed?
No.
Oh, that's what Zeke said. That's what Zeke said. Yeah. Sorry. Thought we had breaking news. Yeah.
No.
They could charge $100 for that, and I bet you people would pay. I've seen some crazy takes on that. People are saying like, "Oh yeah, they'll do $200 for the deluxe edition. It'll be sold out immediately." That's still scheduled to come out this year at some point. So I guess we'll be a part of that sooner than later in terms of the conversation. What else is happening in the world of video games? Oh yeah, PlayStation. We're kind of all PC guys, but in the PlayStation world, in the console world, they announced new prices, which is hitting on April the 2nd, a mere 4 days from time of recording. The PS5, base PS5, is going up to $649.99. The PS5 Pro is going up to $899.99. I think if you want the vertical stand for the PS5 Pro, it's $1,000. Or no. I think it's if you want the disk drive for the PS5 Pro, it's $1,000. So, because it doesn't come with a disk drive, apparently. Has prices over in Europe as well, 100 euros. In the UK, it's 789 pounds. They've also upped the price on the PlayStation Portal, which is their little handheld remote thing. That's 250. That's crazy. I guess if you want a PlayStation, you got 3 days to try and go find one if they're not selling out right now.
Oh my God.
It's got to be insane. I think I also saw a report that we're like 2027, holiday season of 2027 is when the new consoles are supposed to hit from PlayStation and Xbox. So I don't know why the fuck you would go spend $1,000 on that right now. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, I feel like if you, I don't know, this might be a crazy take, but if you don't already own a PlayStation 5, I feel like you're just not gonna buy one until the next one, right? Like,
there's a couple of people that have been like holding out and waiting.
I mean, there's like, you know, youths. Like back in my youth, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna wait for the console price to go down, then I'll go get it. You know, and now it's going the other way. Like, wait a minute, no. That's not the way it's supposed to go. It's not supposed to go up. It's supposed to go down. It's supposed to get cheaper as the longer it's on the market, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how it used to be. Yeah.
That's how it used to be for sure.
You just have to go back to like when you were a kid, just go to the other kid's house in your neighborhood. Or, well, in this place that we're adults now, find other adults in the neighborhood and just go play video games on their CRT TV, you know, just do a little sharing, you know?
There you go.
Oh, you got a Dreamcast, I'm coming to your house. I got the Nintendo. Let's do a little gaming, you know?
Yeah. I'm going to fucking date myself here, but I remember the rich kid in our neighborhood, or at least the spoiled kid in our neighborhood, the first one to get a Nintendo Entertainment System. And he had like at least 20 new friends. Like, yeah, we're friends. We played at recess. We're good.
Yeah.
Can I come over and play some Mario?
Yep.
And like he had crowds of people at his house for like 2 weeks until someone else got a fucking Nintendo, just sitting there like. And if I would have known back then that people will sit there and watch you play a video game, man, I would have invested.
That's right.
Some shit real early.
Yeah, you could have made some money off of that. Yeah, I did the same, but with the 3DO. Do you remember the 3DO back in the day?
Yeah, 3DO. Yeah, the original CD-based game, Road Rash on there, everything else like that. Yep. Like early 90s, I think, when it originally came out. Yeah.
Yeah, that system was fucking crazy expensive, so we didn't have it.
Yeah, I think it was like $700 on release.
Yep, we had
$649.
We had the same thing where there was kind of like, he was kind of the unpopular kid. And then that came out and he got a 3DO for whatever reason. And then he was like, hey, you guys want to come over and play 3DO? And we all all my friends were kind of like, yeah, I guess so. So I would go over to his house reluctantly to see the 3DO and check out Road Rage. But
I thought I was old. I don't know what is a 3DO?
You don't know what a 3DO is?
No.
What's the?
I thought I was old, but apparently,
when we say like old school
are.
console, what do you go to?
What old school console?
Yeah.
For me?
Do you go to like 64? What do you go to?
Yeah, or the NES.
Okay. I mean NES, yeah. The NES makes
those
sense.
Those two are probably the oldest that I.
Do you know like Sega Saturn?
No, I had no clue.
Did you know Sega do you know the Sega Dreamcast?
I know the name, but I think I was too young to actually like use it. I don't know.
Okay.
Wait, you guys can't be that much older than me. Like what, like 3-4 years? Is that the difference, really?
Fuck you,
I was born in 1980, homie.
Oh, GG.
GG. Oh, God, I'm out. Oh, man. All right. I'm getting out of here. GG. Oh, that hurts so much worse. Oh, ugh.
I think
Wait, Shroud, when were you born in 90s? When were you born?
Yeah, 94. So that's why I feel like I slightly missed some of these.
Okay. Wait, how old is Mods? Mods, how old are you? When were you born?
I was born in 88, yeah.
Okay. All right. Zeke's the oldest.
So
I'm second oldest, then Mods.
Yeah.
Shroud, yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's not my fault that Twitch came around in my 30s, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm happy it's here, but like, man, I wish I was 10 years younger.
Yeah. Jesus. GG, says Shroud. That's fucked. That's absolutely fucked. What else do we have? Oh, have you guys heard of this? PC Gamer put this on my radar. We're always kind of thinking about the latest and greatest in games coming out. This Star Wars Zero company, which is basically Star Wars XCOM, is apparently this was announced, I think, at the Game Awards recently, the most recent Game Awards. They went out and played it, and they hyped the shit out of this. It actually looks really, really good. You get to like make your team and choose who you want on your team in terms of all the different characters that exist or not character, but archetypes, I should say, that exist in the Star Wars universe. So you can get like a Padawan. You can also make a full team of fucking little R2-D2s running around, which sounds like it'd be a lot of fun. There's a full story behind that. They put up a video about it, saying it was great. I don't know if we have a release date on that, but it definitely is on my radar after that. Mods, Shroud, do you guys play very many like XCOM likes? Is that something you're into?
No.
Yeah, no.
Okay, great. Next topic.
Baldur's Gate might be the only like turn-based game I've really dived into.
Okay. All right. You've never played like an XCOM? Neither of you?
No.
Man. Every time I hear
good
that,
games.
yeah,
XCOM's a good game, man. It's really
you
good.
might. If you're ever looking for something to play, and honestly, it's Twitch chat enjoys it as well. They enjoy watching people fail when you put it up on like the harder difficulties. Play some XCOM. XCOM 2 specifically.
It's just a like turn-based game. What do you do in it? Like, what's the premise of it?
Well, it's like tactical, or have you ever heard of like Final Fantasy Tactics? Have you seen that style of gameplay?
Yeah, I played Final Fantasy Tactics originally. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's that, but you have guns instead of like fantasy spells and stuff like that.
Do you have to aim?
Turn-based,
No.
turn-based, grid-based.
Oh, okay.
And they give you like, so like just you move your guy, and then it gives you like a percentage. It's like you have a 75% chance to hit this guy, or a 90% chance to hit this guy. You know, based on your position, based on your cover, based on all this kind of stuff. And it's a lot less complex than like the early CD-ROM style like fucking games. They don't take it's easier to jump into.
Yes.
But
They're
XCOM the series has been around since the CD-ROM days, since the 90s.
Yeah.
It's an old IP.
Yep.
It's like strategy and priorities and stuff like that. Are there like bosses in it too?
Yep. Yeah, there's boss levels. It's a pretty challenging game, especially if you crank the
gear in
difficulty
it?
up. Yeah, you can you can change the different weapons and stuff, and you'll get drops that'll allow, like you'll get scopes and stuff on your guns that up the like percentage, and there's skills and stuff that you unlock for all the characters. I can't believe you never played an XCOM, Mods. You should play that if you're looking for something to play in a dry spell one summer. They're great.
Okay,
they're good.
Yeah,
times.
I'll look into it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can name.
If for nothing else, then you can like commiserate with everyone who's played it when you have like a 97% chance and miss.
Yeah.
Like that is like, if you've ever heard someone say like, you got XCOM'd, that's what they're talking about.
Yep.
Means you have a 97% chance to hit and you miss.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the
I haven't
ass.
ever said that to me before.
Okay.
Well,
you got XCOM, yeah.
You got to get some new people, some new friends, Mods.
Okay.
That's what we're saying. You got to make new friends. Hey, Mods, I saw you check this out. Apparently it isn't winning over fans, so we're going to cut to you because you were sponsored for it. How's that Borderlands 4 expansion pack, Mods? What was that like?
Oh, so I actually played Moxie. I haven't played in a while, right? So I played Borderlands 4, right? I had like a sponsored stream for it.
Yeah.
Like 2 hours. I ended up playing 4 hours. I was playing with Moxie. He just does like Borderlands 4 stuff. It felt like Borderlands 4. It's kind of like what it was, right? I guess I bought the deluxe edition when it originally came out.
Oh, so you
I
got
didn't have to buy it.
A part of the season pass or whatever?
Yeah. The story was short. Like, decent dialogue. There was like a raid boss that was challenging. A couple attempts. And then, there's some side stuff and things like that. Other than that, it kind of just felt like Borderlands 4,
Yeah, they did. So they didn't really add anything like groundbreaking then. It's just more Borderlands, right?
Yeah, apparently, like, with Moxie, he's like really the like Borderlands guy. He was telling me there's like a free update in like 2 months or something where there's an actual like raid boss coming out. Oh. So if you're like gaming or whatever, and you're like trying to like actually do harder content, that's when it's coming out. But that's for free. I guess it doesn't cost money.
Huh. Okay.
But yeah. I was playing Moxie, and he had like the highest difficulty unlocked, and my gear was old and crappy. So he was like trying to make me solo the boss with him in the group. And dude, I'm just getting my butt whooped. I'm not like Shroud over here that had like good aim and stuff. Dude, I got ARPG aim. I'm just like shooting at the sky and stuff, I was struggling on it for a while, but I ended up killing it. It was fun. It was like the new boss and stuff. Yeah.
They have, do they have like fancy new loot or anything like that? Like what all did the update add? I know you probably still have the cheat sheet open.
Oh no, yeah, the Moxie had just shown they're like these new pearlescent weapons. They're actually like really, really good. Like he dropped one for me, and like it like tripled my damage. It went insane.
Huh.
Yeah,
This game kind of like fell off. Everyone was super into Borderlands for like a week or two, and then I just haven't heard anyone really talk about it after the launch.
I kind of feel like that's just how Borderlands is because it's not live service.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Yeah. What were we gonna say, Shroud?
That, and I was gonna say, like, the main thing, I feel like it's a double-edged sword with Borderlands for me, and I just think the game itself is the fun of Borderlands games is to power creep to one shot inevitably every boss and be like, wow, that's so cool, I could one shot everything. But I think that's where the double-edged sword is. I actually think that loop nowadays is not what people want. I think people want interesting boss fights. They want mechanics. They don't want to just power creep to one shot every boss and do that forever. And I think that personally is what I think hurt the game. If they went the route of like, it would be very controversial, but if they went the route of getting rid of that power creep and kind of maybe putting clamps on or whatever to make mechanics actually interesting, then there's something to grind for. And now you're actually like having to learn mechanics and practice the game and stuff. So yeah, that's why I think it kind of fell off. I mean, how long can you one-shot bosses over and over and over and over again for?
Yeah, it does. What? It does become uninteresting after the 100th time or the second time, even depending on the player, right? Yeah.
Well, it kind of does feel like, you know, they're the void of the loot and shooter world too right now, right? So like, yeah, Borderlands going full live service and filling that void like Destiny Division thing would be pretty cool. I think that's what a lot of people want to do. What Shout's talking about.
Yeah.
The evolution of Borderlands into more like ongoing raids and progression.
There's still an audience there, right? Like Division 2 still pulls pretty large numbers from everything that I've heard. So does Destiny. Granted, everyone's, you know, looking at Steam concurrent, but consoles are a massive player base for both those titles. So we aren't privy. There's not a Steam DB for the Xbox or the PlayStation Network. So
I mean, not so much anymore. Nowadays we're getting tons of like verified sources and reports that Steam, when it comes to these newer titles, is actually dominating. It dominated
in terms of just being the lion's share?
Yeah, it dominated in ARC Raiders. Steam was a higher percentage. And in Marathon, a game made by Bungie, there's 60% of their players is on Steam. And then the rest is split between Xbox and PlayStation. I think it's even higher than 60%, actually.
Got it. Yeah, I had not heard that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
To say the least.
It's like a lot of games nowadays are more players are on Steam. I wouldn't be surprised if Crimson Desert's the same way.
Yeah, they actually just hit an all-time high this morning, I think, after that. The recent patch.
After the patch?
Yeah, that boosted it up even higher. It's funny, too, because I saw stream numbers spike as well. People's renewed interest after the patch. For some reason, that's, I think, the second patch that's hit on a weekend. Last week was like mid-afternoon on a Sunday, and then this patch hit like at 10 or 11 p.m. Eastern last night. So they've got weird patch times over there at Crimson Desert. But
well, yeah, Korean company, right? So it's like
yeah.
What's the difference? I don't know what it is plus, yeah, but what's the time of the release patch? Of the evening time at like 7 in the morning there, it's starting the work day.
Well, it's still on a Sunday though, right? So
yeah,
I guess they were working weekends or working overtime on this.
Yeah, they're dedicated.
Well, yeah, I mean, and also like the first like stream embargo was like 4 p.m. or 6 p.m. Eastern.
Right.
Like 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. It was a late night embargo for sure. So mods or thumbs up, thumbs down on the Borderlands. Like why? What's your take on that?
Oh man, so yeah, I like fun with it, but yeah, it's like if you don't like Borderlands, I don't think it was something that would bring you back. It's basically the same loop and like a boss and some new gear to grind for, right? It's not like they're reinventing the wheel with the new Borderlands 4 stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like if you like Borderlands, you might like going in and just doing the new stuff and getting geared up.
Did you? I'm reading into why people are not super into it. $30. It was a 2-hour long story. Is that right? Did you finish the story in 2 hours?
Yeah, we finished the story at like
in
like 2 hours. Yeah,
that's steep.
And yeah, the story was not too long. And then I guess they have like the other zone stuff and other farmable stuff, but yeah, it wasn't a long story at all.
Okay.
So definitely on the expensive side for sure. For if you're just a story mode player.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot for sure.
$30 for 2 hours is not.
That's not it.
I feel like maybe you could say 15, like the $15 DLCs. Okay, sure, 2 to 3 hours, whatever. But 30 that's pushing it.
Yeah. Oh, I guess so. It does come with a new character. Did you check out? I think his name's Cash. Funny enough, ironically enough, his name's Cash. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I actually didn't play the new character. I just played like the tank guy, Eamon, or whatever his name is. He's like my spirit animal. He's like the old guy. Just super tanky and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I played him too. I don't know. Like maybe that's the thing.
It might be.
we play the guys that we hope we become or hope we would be.
Yeah, it's all about the power fantasy. That's right. That's right. What else do we got in the world of
just real quick, I thought it was you can go ahead and anybody can go ahead and look at GameStop's site, but like the PlayStation stuff, the PlayStation price hike.
Mm-hmm.
They are just taking the piss like the whole time. Like GameStop is just saying like, hey, you want to trade in your shit? Hey, we got it. We're going to help you upgrade. And like they had a one that was like the joke's over. Talking about how the price is way too high. And we'll pay you $69 to trade teams. And they have an Xbox like and a PlayStation in the same graphic.
Huh.
Like we'll pay you to switch sides. Like,
Jesus.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
There's a few tweets if you want to look at them.
GameStop is kind of mean.
Whatever the fuck they're called now.
These days, for sure. They got to get people in there somehow. I think you can't you actually, didn't they like diversify and you can actually go and trade in like Pokemon cards that are graded at GameStop? I think they'll buy like graded cards.
I think they do. I don't think they give you good value for it though.
Okay.
You basically, it's like the pawn shop, right? Of yeah, like you basically go there if you're desperate, if you're trying to get ripped off.
Okay. All right.
Speaking of someone who worked at a pawn shop, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true. They want to sell it like if they're anything like a pawn shop, they want to sell it for double what they bought it for.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Makes sense. What else do we have? NVIDIA CEO is out there with an interesting quote after this past week's quote where he said something about like, I think he doesn't agree with what gamers were saying regarding the DLSS 5. Now he came out and said, quote, I don't love AI slop myself, which
not a hot take.
Yeah, but also like what the fuck? You debuted DLSS 5. What are you doing? How could you say that? This was on, I guess, on the Lex Friedman podcast.
I feel like my DLSS 5 take is it just shouldn't have been named that. I think it's really cool tech, and I think they're going to continue to iterate on it. And I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Like overall, I think that whole everything they showed was really, really cool. I just think it being called DLSS 5 is really confusing.
Yeah.
You think it's cool? You think it's cool, Shroud? How dare you? How dare you think it's cool? On this podcast, we hate AI and DLSS 5. We hate it.
It's true. How dare you, Shroud?
Period.
I do agree, though. I don't know why they called it DLSS 5. If anything, that hurts what I mean, I guess because it's kind of the same tech, right? I guess that's why they did that. But still, it definitely hurts them in the long run. I don't know how you look at that as NVIDIA prior to the announcement and be like, yeah, this is what we should do. It's 100% going to hurt it.
Studios have full control over how it's implemented, though, and what it actually does to the imagery, right? With that selected on, so.
Yes. They didn't necessarily, those companies didn't necessarily know that it was going to be showcased the way it was, which was kind of another part of the whole controversy of DLSS 5. But yeah, you're right. They do, in the future with DLSS 5, they do have the ability to use it or not use it, etc. So,
hold on.
Go ahead.
The way you put that, Mods, was it made me think of like they can choose what DLSS 5 like when it the wipe graphic where it's like before DLSS 5 and after, so they can choose to be like, here's the character from Resident Evil with DLSS 5 on, you get to be SpongeBob. Like,
yep. I could.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess they have full control over that. Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
Do anything.
I guess
You
they
can do
can
anything.
control the impact of it, right? If it wants to, how much they want to maintain of the original imagery.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What else do we have? What I saw this thing where on the topic of AI, I saw chat was talking about it. It was a Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 dev was fired and straight up replaced by like AI. I gotta find it was a translator. That's what it was. They replaced a translator with AI. A
For all
Czech
localization.
yeah, a Czech translator was fired from Warhorse Studios and replaced with AI in effort to quote save finances.
Yeah.
As someone who has a little bit of little to a lot of experience with AI translations, being like indie games and stuff like that translate from all myriad of different languages. If you want it to be good, you can't. The AI is not there yet. If you want it to be hilarious, that's AI is so good at I think you meant this because it's a colloquialism in Korea, but it doesn't really translate into English. So you just said I want to ride a wet armchair. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It was on Reddit from the post. He posted it in the Kingdom Come subreddit. Quote, yesterday, March 27th, 2026, with no forwarding, I was invited to a meeting and promptly told that in an effort to, quote, make the company more effective and, quote, save finances, as of next month, my position at the company would become, quote, obsolete in favor of using AI for all translations going forward. This came as a huge shock to me, as though the discussion about AI for translating had frequently come up in the past, something I'd always strongly and vocally against, but never to the extent that it might actually cost me my job in the future. It had, of course, crossed my mind many times, but I naively thought my work at Warhorse Studios was valued enough that I might not be at immediate risk.
It might be this. I'm gonna hot take the fuck out of
Hot
this.
take it out, Shroud. Do it.
I just think in that exact scenario, that is one of those situations where it is what it is, and it's like it makes sense. AI is just gonna get better, and translators are gonna be obsolete. That job might not even exist. You could just click a button and everything, it'll do it for you. I get it when it comes to generating an art and creativity, but translating a language, I mean, that might be a dead craft in the future. I don't know. That might be a hot take, but I feel like there's just going to be some things that will just be obsolete, while others will still continue on, even with the AI craze.
Dude, that take was so hot, you're dissolving the show.
Oh, I broke the whole stream. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's sorry, guys.
Honestly, I don't think that's really a hot take, right? How are you going to convince large corporations to make less money, right? That's how they view it as, right?
Yeah.
They don't view it like people losing their job. They go, well, we can make more money by just using AI and these agents to do these tasks a lot more efficiently than paying someone that handcrafted, they're skilled over years and years, right?
Yes. No, I companies are going to company, right? To put it all, to boil it down into the base minimum. A company is interested in making money, right?
Yeah.
And so as new technology comes out, they're going to find ways to cut costs. Definitely
Automation.
sucks, 100%. Feel bad for
Well, I wonder
the
in the
guy.
future, how there's classic style diners nowadays. You go to oh, I want to go to a 50s style diner. There's people dressed up in old school clothing and stuff right there, and the different atmosphere and music. I wonder if that's how a lot of things in the world are going to pivot to. You're going to have stuff that's AI driven, or you're going to have a classic game studio where people actually do stuff by hand, right? It's a handcrafted studio, a vintage studio. I kind of feel like that's where the world's going to end up at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had this discussion before. I put it to the analogy of being an AI vegan. You're a vegan, you're I don't want any AI in my game. I don't want any of it. Is there AI in this? Because I'm allergic. I can't have any AI in my game. I am AI vegan. So was there any sort of AI adjacent things? Because no, thank you. And also it's that's been the way forever. So you go into a grocery store and you pick up an item and it says no artificial flavor.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
That's what we're going to be with games. Like no artificial intelligence.
Yeah, artisanal organic games. That's what they're
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's to kind of dive into it. I saw both chats on the show discussing what Shroud said. I think what Shroud said is more of the populist take. Not to say that's the right take, but I think most people agree with kind of Shroud's point of view on AI. That's like the general consensus.
I mean, yeah, there's no. It's maybe not as crazy as the invention of the internet, but like it's happening. So we're just gonna have to adapt. I mean, it is what it is. Sucks for some people, but yeah.
I mean, that's
kind of like a.
I mean, there's AI streamers are coming for our job too.
That's right. Neurosama's gonna take us out.
Yeah. The modern day industrial revolution, huh?
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
True. There's always something new to save and cut cost, right? It's just kind of how it is.
Well, I mean, like it's like the Industrial Revolution, like one of the only options is to pivot into fixing those things, the thing that took your job, like fixing it when it breaks.
Yes. Yeah. Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
And now we even have AI viewers. So don't think you guys can be replaced or you can't be replaced, chat. All right. We can get 2,000 people right now for like $10.
Actually, talking about that, I actually have a viewer that the Twitch partner, they used to chat normally and they use an AI agent on their account now. I always have to ban them because like they basically created a bot that interacts with chat and it says some wild shit.
Wait, what? Yeah. How does he's just there to be active when it's his like AI agent?
Yeah, so it's like some partner Twitch streamer, and he used to chat normally, and it started like a week or two ago, and he used like an AI agent to basically interact with chat, right, and basically respond off what people were playing. I have to time it out. I just ban it all the time. I'm like, is this guy ever actually going to come back and talk normally, or is he just going to use AI all the time on his account? Yeah.
Wait, so is the idea that because he has a partnered badge next to his name in chat and he's active in another streamer's chat that people click on his name to go check out his stream?
I don't know. I don't know what the logic is. Yeah, it just randomly goes on like crazy stories and just starts saying some wild stuff. Like it's unhinged. Yeah. It's like actually unhinged. It says some wild stuff. Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. I've definitely for a while there, we had the Miami bots. Did you guys get those where people would just constantly join the chat and talk about Miami? Or is that just a me thing? I had for like a month straight, just a constant Miami biased chat where they would post like Miami and then some palm trees and some other stuff next to it. And that's all they would post. So we would just time them out. It was really strange. Now they're gone. I think we had like a AI agent last night too, because I think he might have been from your stream, Mods, because he was talking about Diablo 3 nonstop, and no one else was talking to him about Diablo 3.
Well, Diablo 3 players are a thin breed nowadays. Blizzard doesn't even talk about Diablo 3 anymore.
Yeah.
They only talk about Diablo 2 and Diablo 4 and apparently some new Diablo stuff. Yeah. He just wanted to find someone to relate with.
I guess. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was a weird thing. What else? I think that might be
the AI bots I get just talk about nonsense. Like they're holding a conversation with someone who isn't there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is it's just so strange. I'm like, I'll like glance over and read it and be like, and I'll even pause the show and be like, okay, who the fuck could you possibly be talking to right now?
Yeah.
And it's nobody. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait and see if you're gonna. And they post another thing talking to some invisible like nobody.
Visible thing.
I'm like,
yeah.
What the fuck is happening here?
Shroud, I'm curious with a stream your size, do you even notice anything like that? Or is it just
for sure. Like dude, the amount of people, I mean, I've talked about it so many times before on my stream. I've ranted about how it's just, I swear half my chat's not real. When they're having their own conversation. They're talking to themselves, they're training their model. I don't know. And it's crazy. Half my chat is not real. And when the realest time in chat is when it's the slowest, and then that's when people come in and they're like, "Wait, is this guy viewbotting?" And I'm like, "Oh, geez, well." It's always something. It's always something.
Yeah. Let's
No, to be fair,
That's funny.
if I was going to train an AI model, I'd try and get lost in the weeds and just go to a huge like channel with lots of viewership, 10K plus viewership, so I could like test my model and maybe go unnoticed.
Sure.
You just scalp data from Twitch chat and like Reddit and 4chan, and you just end up with a super unhinged comedy style.
Just absolutely wild chatter. Yeah, see how long
You got an
it can
AI
get
bot practicing its tight 5 for fucking Tonight Show.
Yeah. You know, at one point I thought there was some like random bot on my channel. I was seeing some unhinged stuff, but it was really just a drunk German dude. So sometimes you never know if it's actually like a bot or just like someone that's just been drinking a lot, because that's what sometimes people do for fun. They get blasted in real life and then they just go in Twitch chat.
It's
They're
actually
like,
very
not
true.
really making any sense. And then he like asks him a question. He's like, "Oh man, I'm just drunk and I'm in Germany. I'm okay. That sounds like a good time."
Sounds like a fucking game show. It's like time to play drunk or AI. Here we go. Let's spin the wheel.
Yeah, we've definitely had the drunk chatters before. Those are always a lot of fun. I guess to open us up to an LSF clip or something, Shroud, there's a lot of talk amongst, I guess, streamers of your size and view bots. What's your take on it? Is it more normal? Is it more, I guess, apparent than a lot of us think? Or is it just, depending on the streamer, depending on the group, whatever?
I don't fully understand this question. Like, are you saying like?
Do you think it's as prevalent as people say? I guess is to boil down the question.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
100%. I think. I think it's very, very like happens frequently, and I think it. I think a lot of people are using it to fake it till you make it, and then when you make it, you kind of dial it down. I don't think it happens to any. Like, I don't think like larger creators that have been doing it for a very long time are doing it, because that seems kind of risky and weird. But I absolutely think a lot of new age TikTok, all sorts of stuff, they're doing it at least a little bit. I think everyone is.
I completely agree with Shroud. There's no way someone who's been on this platform forever is using Viewbots to boost up their numbers. Not someone like people who've been here since Joseph TV. They don't do that.
That's true. It's accurate.
Wait, who did that? Someone do that?
I was referring to me. I was joking.
Yeah, he was making a self.
They used to have like, I don't know if you guys remember, they used to have the Twitter tracker like back in the day, and it got banned, where they used to post like the discrepancy in viewers of like streamers that were viewbotting or someone was viewbotting them.
Yeah,
with like the viewbotting tracker, but that's not like a thing anymore.
Well, I knew that account existed, but I didn't realize they got banned for doing that.
Yeah, I don't think I don't know if it got banned or it's not active anymore. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the part about it that's really tricky, and kind of like I feel like you'll never know, because you never know if someone's actually doing it to their channel and if it's them or not, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of shady people out there that are doing it to themselves or between their own org or whatever. Yeah. But they might not even know. They might be a part of an org and the org's doing it behind the scenes and they don't even know. They have no clue.
Yeah.
And it's
I guess there's always ulterior motives, right? You don't know if it's like an agency or something trying to boost you to like get like higher negotiable rates or something, right? Or it's like a viewer trying to help you out, but then they realize that doesn't actually really help you out long term. It's like short sighted,
right?
So yeah, just sort of doing organically is always good. Yeah,
like not even just Viewbotting. They get in with a sponsor and they embed you on their website or something.
Yeah, like there's different ways to quote unquote.
Oh, that's the weird one when it talks about Viewbots. Is there's been a lot of, I'm not going to call anyone out because I don't actually know their names, but there has been a lot of Viewbotters that have been getting sponsored deals. I think it happened in PUBG, if I remember correctly, a couple weeks ago.
Sure.
And it happened literally like last week. And that's where it starts to get really, really murky, because like it's one thing to just like have a Viewbot stream and you're just doing your own thing. There's only 30 real viewers and like who cares? You're not making any money off that. It's not really working. But once you start getting those sponsors from those big game companies, that's when it gets really, really tricky, because then that hurts everybody that's not, all the people that are just like doing it authentically are getting fucked.
Totally.
Yeah. You'd think
That reminds me
like,
of F Extra Life. I haven't seen that guy stream since the ordeal.
Well, yeah,
That's the big
Gasalion
one,
kind
yeah.
of blew him up. His like he's still getting invited, or the company is still getting invited, I think, to a lot of events, and working with groups, and still has like a functioning website to get keys for games early as a resource, right? So that portion of that that company is still up and running when it comes to like game databases and stuff. But they also just control the SEO on shit. So if, I think Map Genie right now kind of dominates the SEO on Crimson Desert, but there's a lot of games out there, maybe Elden Ring, for example, during its heyday. If you just Googled like Elden Ring map, Extra Life was the first thing to come up. And so they had just SEO control.
I was just going to say
long.
like how annoying that is. Like when I'm looking for a tip on a game, like how do I find this treasure or something like that? And I'll like the first result that comes up, I'm like, okay, let's see. God damn you, extra life, stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and a lot of times too, it's not
Always
even factual. It's not even good info. It's just like spammed out there to take you to a Extra Life page that says like, yep, that's a candle. Don't know what you're supposed to do with it.
Any like inane things that you get from just going to that website, like, how do I find this? It's like, here's a picture of it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
I think Extra Life is one, and then I think Fandom as well is also another huge conglomerate that has like a bunch of database websites for things like that.
You think like companies would be more vocal about like, because if I was, let's just say PUBG since we brought it up. So if I was the PR person or whichever for PUBG, like, and I was getting a streamer, you would be able to tell by like if you gave, because they usually give you a link, like a tracking link or whatever, you'd be able to tell the people who are viewbotting, because if the streamer does their job and say like, hey, click this link, like they ask us to, and you see someone with 5,000 viewers, two exact streamers, 5,000 viewers, and one gets like, you know, this many, and then one gets way lower, you'd be like, this fucker's viewbotting, or like his audience, like that would be something that I would be telling other companies, like don't go with this person. This person is definitely viewbotting, because the click-through rate is just fucking abysmal compared to someone of a similar size.
I'm sure that there are conversations behind the scenes about that, but there's no way a company's ever going to come out vocally and publicly and like shame a streamer for viewbotting, right?
But the funniest thing you mentioned that, I actually did a sponsorship probably a couple months ago, and I was talking to the guy working on the activation, and he asked me to look at the analytics of another streamer to look if it was real or not.
What?
And they had like twice my viewers, but they're unique viewers or chatters, and like their click-through rates were like really low. So he's like, do you think this guy is like inorganic? I'm like, well, I don't know. Like it's hard to tell, but you know, they had a lot of viewers, but not a lot of clicks or not a lot of people chatting. So yeah, I didn't snitch or anything, but yeah, they definitely said, hey, did this look real or not? I said, oh, I don't know.
I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? Who's going to know better about habits and viewership than a streamer, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're like really ingrained in the culture, you're not going to know.
I'm surprised that might be a role like
any of us that have been around like for more than 5-6 years, you can go into a stream and you know, like if they're having, like, without looking at their numbers, you know if you're a regular in their stream or your own stream by the number of chats that are happening, like how good of a day or how many viewers they have.
Right.
You know, like I can tell immediately, like, oh, this game is not doing as well numbers wise. I bet I can guess within 100 people, like how many people are here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also sometimes, honestly, if you've been streaming for a while and you do a sponsored stream and people like you, they'll just sit around and watch, even though they don't like it at all. Right? They'll just sit there and just keep you up if they like you. But I think that, I don't know, that's true for everybody. Like Shroud, do you feel that way? Because you're like a pretty large streamer, right? Like you do a sponsored stream and you're checking out the game. Do you feel like people just stick around just because you're Shroud?
I actually think, as weird as it is, I've noticed there's a lot of times where my viewers go up when I'm doing sponsored streams, which is kind of backwards because I think it's because I'm in this I'm in a weird spot right now because I'm playing games that I want to play, not games that people want me to play. So usually a sponsor ends up being the game that people want me to play. Does that make sense? So then I jump to the sponsor and everyone's like, "Ooh, I'm interested now because he's watching something that I want to see." So it's kind of backwards for me at this current state. But earlier, like, a couple years ago, you'd absolutely be right.
Yeah. I mean, I would also say too, once you take over a channel directory, you're generally going to be in the top 1 or 2 slots, right? So
yeah,
that'll build an audience on something that's new or something that's pushing a new update or whatever. So
for sure,
probably has a factor.
And I just want to say, check out this fucking nerd and his magic cards.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's a bad habit. Sorry.
Wait, I did.
No, dude, I was a Magic player for years. I'm just giving you shit. I saw you like pick up, and I was like, I know that card. Yep. I know what that is.
I do that with League, the Rift bound bullshit. What cards were those? What set were those from, Mike?
Riftbound?
No,
I don't play Riftbound.
The cards that you had in your hand, the Magic.
Oh
set.
no, this was I opened TMNT recently in a couple lore wins, so it's just a couple packs that I opened. Okay. And they just sit next to my desk and I just shuffle them for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, it's a weird thing.
My fidget spinner, I guess.
Yeah, it's
I was gonna say, do you have like let me show you my things. I have a little chainmail cube. I have a little
just
spinny
a bunch of
thing
little
for my
trinkets.
finger. I have a tech deck right here. I've got a little like fidgety thing.
Got a knife, little bottle opener thing. Yeah, the apple. I got this as well. That's another fidget thing.
What are these, like ADHD management things?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. You play ARPGs, so you're fully stimulated all the time, mods.
Yeah.
The rest of us are not.
Without these things, I would have a pen collection that is just like chewed down to the nub, just destroyed because I just I can't fucking help myself.
Yeah. I used to just click my pen all the time. When I wasn't on my computer all the time, I'd just click the thing, just spam it.
You do a lot of this now, mods. That's your go-to. As someone who watches you stream a lot.
If my hands are busy, I do something with my hands. I just got to be moving all the time.
All right. That could be clipped out of context there, buddy. Come on.
Whoa,
Jesus,
JP, where's your mind at, bro?
You're the one that fucking said it, buddy.
Is this podcast mature with this PG? What the heck?
You're the one that
no.
fucking
Every
said
podcast, I'm right clicking, left dicking. Like it's every time.
Right clicking, left dicking. There you go.
That's
good. I
right.
like that.
Yeah. Never heard that.
You know what, I always find that's really funny? The little monkey, like they're self-servicing. He's doing a little self-checkout,
Are you talking about the Jorkers?
The Yorkin monkey.
The little monkey in Twitch chat.
We do,
I love that guy, dude.
We do hiding inputs in my neck of the woods from the fighting game world, because they used to put like blankets over their fighting game pads to hide their inputs. So it's absurd. Yeah. Anyways, where was I gonna go? I had a plan mentally, and then mods completely threw me off with his completely, just really immature commentary.
Well,
really,
I feel like I'm being gaslit right now. You're the one that brought it up, and now you're deflecting blame to me.
What the fuck?
Hey, I'm on the show every week. Welcome to my world.
Yeah,
Zeke's usually the deflection. But now it's you.
Streamers not taking accountability. What is this?
Whoa.
Come on now.
Whoa. Pointing finger.
Let's see some personal growth here, JP. Take accountability for once.
Jesus. Too real, mods. Absolutely too real. I guess we could jump into games that we've been playing. I don't know if there's too much stuff news-wise. It is kind of we're starting to get to that deep breath before the Summer Game Fest kicks off here as we head into April. I guess tax season. Everyone's excited for taxes. Yay, taxes.
Why did you remind me? God damn it.
I reminded you so you don't go to fucking jail, Zeke. Pay your taxes. You got to send them out to that CPA immediately and get them done. It's important, okay? You got to pay the old government. We're going to war soon. Let's make this a political podcast. Shroud, what are your thoughts on war?
Jesus Christ.
That's the kind of Twitch chat shit that I see in my stream all the time. They're just like, so what do you think about this? I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to talk about this right now. I want a game.
Oh my God.
Too real.
Okay, so no on war. Let's talk about Marathon. We haven't had anyone actually on the show to comment on Marathon because we're all bad at video games, Shroud, and you happen to be good at game. Well, okay, Mods, you're good at ARPGs. Shut up. I'll give you credit where credit's due. Marathon's this
think
thing.
you're pretty subjective here, but I'll take it.
Okay, all right. You've played a ton of Marathon, Shroud. I think you would go as far as to say you enjoyed it and it's a good game. Are these?
Why are you saying it?
I'm saying this because look, the thing where you said AI is good or whatever the fuck you were talking about earlier, that in my neck of the woods, saying Marathon is good gets me crucified. So I need you to say that it's good.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Well, Cohh played it a lot too, didn't he? Or am I crazy?
No.
No?
The most Cohh played was Marathon, the OG. That's where he stops talking about Marathon. I think maybe he played it for like 20 or 30 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think I just got confused with Arc Raiders for some reason.
Probably.
Yeah. Marathon is good, but the problem is I don't think it's a problem actually, but it's a problem at like right now is it's too hard, I think.
Yeah?
I think it's just way too hard of a game. I think it's a very sweaty game, ranked Destiny raids super like painful when you die. You lose your whole inventory, unlike Arc Raiders. And I think that's a problem right now because obviously it's a game that needs to grow and has a lot of players and first impressions are everything. But I actually think it will end up being a positive later on once Season 2 comes out, Season 3 comes out. It gets better and better. More people realize like, wait, this game is actually really, really good. So I don't know. It has a really bad onboarding process, and maybe that's what they need to solve to help players get into it because it is sweaty. It's extremely sweaty. It feels like I'm playing Apex a little bit.
Really? Okay.
So it's like Crimson Desert where you got to play like 10 hours for it to feel a lot better, or
yeah, maybe, because if you play one game of Marathon at first glance, you're going to be like, okay, well, that wasn't very fun. But then once you start playing and you start learning the systems and you start getting like upgrades through all the factions and you start getting rewarded for the knowledge that you put into the map, knowing where the good loot is, knowing how to get it, then it's like, oh, okay, I kind of understand it now. It's weird because most extraction games have this, they all work like this except for Marathon in my eyes. You accumulate a stash and your stash ends up getting so big that you don't know what to do with it. And you're just done. You have infinite loot. You could die a bazillion times and you're done. But Marathon has like more of a progression based where you're trying to chain together a bunch of raids. You hopefully get a little bit better loot from one raid. Then you take that to the next one, get a little bit better loot, take that to the next one, get a little bit better loot. And then when you die, you lose all of those raids beforehand because like your vault space and your stash doesn't have, you can't accumulate that much over that period of time because there's just so many items and there's so many rare items. So I think that ends up hurting a lot of people because they play 10 games and when they finally die, they lose everything. It's all gone. It feels like they just spent a whole day and it was for nothing.
Okay.
I get that.
That's like the major thing it does to differentiate itself from other games in that genre. Because I never played it before. I actually liked the art style, which was kind of weird. It had like all the crazy colors and stuff.
I don't mind it as well, but again, that's and with Cohh's audience, you're about to get crucified. I'm sorry, get ready.
I think the art style looks so good too. I think it's so clean.
I will say it like there's like a digital vibrance, I guess is how I would describe it to a lot of things. And sometimes when you walk in a room, it can be a little overwhelming if they have that specifically the red hues or the
emergency lights in low power areas that are bright red are tough.
It could be a lot. It could be an absolute lot. But apart from that, I like the look of everything. I do think, like, particularly looking at your inventory here, that's crazy to look at. Like, there's so much information, I think, being displayed there that you're talking about, like, being overwhelming.
Yeah, that's a first glance thing because it's really the simplest inventory ever. Like, a lot of people like complain about the UI in Marathon, and it's a first glance thing. Like once you understand, just like any extraction shooter, once you understand what the symbols mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you'll pick it up pretty fast.
Right. It's not as busy then as I think it is, I guess is what you're trying to get at. Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah. JP says that while playing Tarkov. Yeah, Tarkov is busy as well. There's a lot of information on the screen for sure. I guess it's just not like the bright colors that Marathon is using.
Tarkov was sweaty though. That game was fun though. I actually really liked playing Tarkov, but it's been a while since I played it.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Tarkov, Ezekiel?
He's played.
Nope.
I thought you played before. I thought you did like 1 or 2 rounds with us.
Nope. I did not play a single second of it.
Okay. All right. Maybe I'm thinking of PUBG. Maybe that's what you played.
Yeah, no, I played PUBG a little bit because like PUBG had games like that have an appeal to someone like me who is not good at anything, and I can just hide and do okay.
Okay.
And that's like how I got my one PUBG victory was like I hid in a bush for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I just happened to be in the center circle. Like I picked the right bush to hide in, and then one guy was left and he was out of ammo. I was like, bing, bing, bing. And I was like, yeah, I win. That was the only win I ever got.
You got your dopamine
when
from
you
the
have
win
to
and got
actually
out.
be competitive and shoot accurately and have good tactics and shit, like I'll watch. I won't play. That's not for me.
There you go. Shroud, talk to me about this new map that Marathon had. I'm gonna listen on my phone and take my dog out real quick because he's going fucking ballistic.
Yeah, I
want to hear about it.
I was going to bring it up anyway, just because the new map is probably the coolest map to ever be made in an extraction game. It's really elaborate.
You are. I've heard a lot of people say that. Please tell me why.
Yeah, it is really, really elaborate because it's going to be a lot to explain, but let's see if I could shorten this a little bit. The map is really, really well thought out, where every single person is behind like a chamber, and they all have to figure out clearances to get out of the chamber, which makes it a little bit of a race at the beginning, who gets out first. The whole map is kind of a race, to be honest, because the time crunch and there's so much to do on it. So you have to get out of everyone. It's kind of like, it's not as complex as an escape room, I'm gonna be honest. It's really, really simple, but the pacing is what's important here because it's a PvP game. So it's really, really simple. You're just collecting, like you're hacking a data card and you're picking up security clearances and killing a couple bots, getting more clearances, getting out of there. And then the point is to get into the main area, and it's a main like control center, which does like a giant loop where all of the chambers connect to. So if you're first people out, you get to kind of control that chamber, which is really, really important because obviously you want to take out as many teams as possible before you do your looting phase. But that's not the part that's the most elaborate. The most elaborate part is there's 6 vaults, a 7th hidden one. You need a key card that you acquire from all of the other maps beforehand to open those vaults. When you open the vaults, there's data cards. You extract the data card. It's permanent DNA sequence on your character. You collect 6 of them. Once you've collected 6 of them, you have to go do a series of puzzles all across the map, matching symbols, matching letters, typing it out to make sure you remember what it is, go across the map, hit the button, do this, do that. Boom. You've gotten all those vaults open. You've gotten all the data sequences. You can now open the 7th vault. The 7th vault ends up being a giant boss fight where you get super, super rare contraband loot. And it's just honestly a pretty hard achievement to do in the first place, where I haven't even done it. Granted,
I was about to say, like, what's the
Crimson
percentage
Desert.
of people that can do all that? What the fuck?
It's very, very small. It's an insane grind. For example, one of the hardest parts of it is these key cards are rare. You have to get key cards 1 through 6.
Can you drop them or trade them or anything?
You can't. They have anti-RMT mechanics in all of Marathon. So it's not like Arc Raiders where people are selling blueprints and stuff. That's not how that works.
Oh.
Can't trade anything. There's no RMT. You can't do it. It's not gonna work. However, there could be, just like Destiny, there could be runs and carries. Once you have the DNA sequences and you're a player that has it, you technically can get into the vault for other people and hopefully carry them to a victory. You could do that if you wanted to sell carries, I guess. There's probably some RMT there.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
But it's like it's got to be like less than 1% of these people able to even complete this cryo archive loop. And the kicker is you could only do it on weekends. For example, today's the last day, and now after today, you have to spend a week
building
grinding
up to
the
it.
key cards on the normal maps. You cannot play cryo always.
Right.
And I think that's actually really, it sounds stupid where you can only play a certain map on a weekend, but I think it's really well designed because the key cards are super, super rare and you have to get them from the other maps.
Do you have to get them every week?
And Dire.
Or do you get them once? Oh, you do have to go and build them up every week.
Well, like once you've opened the vault and successfully extracted, you're good. You've gotten the DNA sequence, you're chilling. But like not everyone, that's why Marathon is so polarizing. It's hard. I've seen tons of people who main that game and they just die over and over and over and over again. Their success rate's got to be like 30%. It's one of the hardest success rate games I've seen, I think, when it comes to extraction games. So like you're going to get a key card, you're going to go to Cryo Archive for the weekend, maybe you farmed like 3 of them during the week, and then you just don't make it out of the raid. You ran out of time.
Jeez.
You died to a player, it's all gone, you got to do it again. So it's just super, super punishing at all times.
Right.
Dude, it sounds like it's set up for sweats. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, it's set up for sweats or people who really, really are passionate and love the games a lot. And even though they know they're not good, it's the achievement that they want to be able to do it. That's their goal. And then on top of that, Marathon wipes every 3 months. So if you don't get this stuff done, well, you got to go again. It's season 2 now.
That's not an opt-in. That's just a perma wipe every 3 months.
It's a perma wipe for everyone. It's not like Arc where it's
Sheesh.
I think all of these things are good things. Everything that I'm saying sounds like I'm saying it like it's a burden and a bad thing, but I actually think it's an extremely good thing. But they just need to onboard. They just need to keep spending time onboarding a little bit better because people need to be shown that it is fun. It is worth it.
No, you sound like
I don't know how they do it.
Not to put you in a box here or anything, but like you sound like a sub explaining a dom. Like no. When they hit me, it's good. They hurt me and I like it, and they keep hurting me because I asked them to. I asked them to hurt me and I like it. Well, I mean, I don't know how I explain it any better than that.
I think Crimson Desert's a perfect example. I think this game is really, really scuffed, and you're constantly fighting the game more than playing the game, and yet it's still a lot of fun.
Right. Yeah. No, conflict is another, I guess, like a lighter way to say jank or whatever. Conflict is something that people enjoy, right? They kind of enjoy the struggle. They want the struggle.
Yeah,
of something.
I mean, the struggle is what always, like, extraction shooters they've always been about struggle. Once you start making them a little bit too casual, sure, it's fun for a couple weeks or months or whatever, but at some point you got to make it harder. Like that's the thrill of the loot, the thrill of the struggle,
right?
Ups and downs.
Yeah, I was a little shocked to see reviews when they came out for Marathon this past week because they were generally like across the board pretty positive, pretty high. And I expected them to be the opposite because of how hard the fucking game is.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I was going to ask why you would expect them to be negative.
Yeah, I mean,
just difficulty.
The difficulty, because I think in like the marathon or in the extraction shooter world, like, Tarkov was obviously one of the first. I guess DayZ was the first to do it in a lot of ways, but it wasn't straight up an extraction shooter. Then you had Tarkov kind of come into the scene, and people kind of bounced off that if you weren't, super hardcore. Arc, I think, is maybe the most approachable, right? Because of how
for sure
easy it is to go on prox chat and be friendly. If you say friendly in Marathon, from all accounts that I've heard, people still just fucking shoot you the second they're going to see you.
I love it. Yeah, no, I love it.
There's no friendly in Marathon.
I mean, there definitely can be, but there's something special about blasting someone that says friendly. I mean, we've all played DayZ here. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's awesome.
It's true. Yeah. No, it definitely is a lot of fun. But yeah, I was shocked to see those reviews be so high. Granted, it is Bungie. Bungie knows how to fucking make a gun feel good to shoot, right? They've been doing it.
It's very satisfying for sure. Yeah.
They've been doing it forever.
I'd like to think that the people that do reviews too, I'm not sure, this is a guess, but I'd like to think that the people that are doing reviews at least have some idea of how the genre works. So maybe the people reviewing Marathon rated it high because they may not have the time to play and go all the way, but they could see you know, they could see the vision. I'm not sure if reviewers have to know the game that they're playing or genre. I'm not sure how that works. But
I mean, it depends on the reviewer. It depends on the site. It just depends on the
I just can't imagine someone who doesn't know an extraction shooter playing the game and going like, yeah, this is sweet.
Yeah, for my first extraction shooter, it's a little bit of a rough go, right? Yeah, you would get kind of absolutely destroyed. I would actually say to you, would you recommend this game as like a solo person, someone that doesn't necessarily have a group of friends to jump in and play? Can you have fun with Marathon, or do you need to have like 2 other people on comms, like teaming up with that synergy and everything?
Yeah, I think that's kind of one of the main problems, actually, is it's very trio oriented. Because, for example, on Cryo Archive, you can't go solo. It's a trio.
Oh, you can't queue solo. Okay.
No. And it's so punishing and so difficult that if you're going solo into a trio fill, like you just get, it's tough. You just get dominated, because in games like Apex, which is trio as well, I mean, it's what, you lose 20 minutes of your time because you lost in a battle royale, whatever. But when you lose in a game like this with fills, you lose your whole inventory, and you're like, oh, well, that sucks. Yeah. So it's I wouldn't say it's really solo friendly, and I think that's kind of a problem.
When you queue solo looking for matchmaking with a group, does it tell you the value of the other 2 people's kit that they're bringing in? Are you privy to that information?
No, you can only see their shield, which I guess is the only thing you kind of go off of.
Yeah, okay. If they have like a blue or epic shield or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I could see people griefing with that, right? Like if someone brings in like a 20K kit.
There's really no way to grief unless you want to. Well, like you could grief for the luxury of griefing, I guess, right? If you just want to do it just to do it, but you can't like take their stuff. It's not possible.
But you could not shoot back and then camp.
Yeah, but you still can't take their stuff.
I guess you would have to kill the people. Oh, you can't loot from your friends, is what you're saying?
No,
you can't loot from your team?
Because the game is like, it's got the system where you can res somebody when they're out of the game.
Oh.
So if they're full killed, you could still bring them back. So when you and then it's got the borrow system too. So if you take someone on your team's loot, it'll go back to their stash.
Okay.
So like, it's not really worth it to let someone die, but you could grief for the love of the griefing, I guess.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of cool. Bungie, I guess, it's seemingly thought about that, right? By making it.
Yeah. There's a lot of those little weird, like, nuances that they definitely did think would happen.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess the next thing I have regarding Marathon and maybe even the most talked about point around it, because it's Bungie and because of Sony's, mandate for live service games and whatnot, is people are, I've seen entire subreddits, threads, whatever, Twitter conglomerates. They just love talking about the people playing. The number of people playing at all times is more important than the game and the quality of the game. Do you think it has, the legs to survive? Like, are we going to hear about it shutting down 6 months from now, 2 years from now? Like,
I mean, it seems like if you go off the numbers, it does seem like it's mostly stable. So I think it'll be fine. But I honestly think they invested too much. Like, my take on their game and Marathon in general is they've invested too much for it to die in 6 months. I could imagine it would have, if you were to go on the Steam charts of Marathon, and it would have 100 people playing, I would still think that they would try, just because they've invested a lot of money and time into that game. At least see through like a year,
Yeah.
It's not like a High Guard situation where it's a new studio, they have no money. Like, they have money. They got the hard part out of the way. They made the game. They pushed it out. Now it's just a matter of, kind of upkeeping it and providing little updates here and there. But the hard part is just launching the thing.
Right. Yeah, getting into it. I have also seen that word of mouth, like that game did the thing where it peaked as soon as it came out, and then, it started to flounder a little bit. But the game's been out almost a month now, I think, maybe a month and change. And I have seen it through word of mouth, through reviews, through people talking about it. The sentiment on the internet is kind of changing around it, where people are like, no, this game's actually fucking dope. Like this game's really good. You should play Marathon. It's pretty positive experience.
I feel like that's the I've seen only that people be positive.
Yeah.
About it.
Even right out of the gate, you saw it?
Even right out of the gate. I mean, it was like obviously every new game that comes out these days, you get like an overwhelming amount of negativity at first, but like it balances it out normally, like pretty. Like most games balance out in like a week or two, but I think Marathon balanced out like within like that day. Everyone's like, yeah, no, it's good, just not for me. I don't know why everyone's so adult about Marathon, but they're not about all the other games. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ark is still, pulling pretty considerable numbers, even if creators, I guess, are tired of playing the same Ark. Like the content's a little dry right now for that game. What are your thoughts on like the delay of Marathon and the release of Ark? Do you think that helped Marathon in the long run? Do you think the delay was worth it?
Yeah, that's I thought about that. Is like the delay probably made Marathon a better game, but I said to my stream when I was grinding it, like if Marathon came out like a year ago, it would be completely different. Like there'd be so many more people playing the game, like for sure. But like how do you choose to play Marathon when you've already committed to a game like Ark for 6 months, But timing is so important in every game launch, and you just, I don't know, it is what it is. You can't really think about it. You can't control it. Just got to do what you got to do. Got to do what you think is best, and hope it works out. I feel like that's a lot of game launches right now. Is you just launch the thing and you're like, man, I hope this works, and it sucks.
I hope people like this thing. Yeah.
I think expectation creeps a lot with each subsequent game release, right? You see like what people expect out of a new release game nowadays. It's what a lot of games built up over a decade, especially in the MMO space and ARPG space and stuff like that. You can't release Diablo 2 in this era and people would call it a good game, even though historically it was like one of the most innovative games of all time over time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I did have a question from my audience, and I don't know if it's relevant or not, but they wanted to know when the wipe happens for a Marathon, does it wipe everything? Like you need to unlock skills again and shit? Like
it wipes everything but your codex, and the codex is like where you have your personal like achievements, like get level 100.
So it's kind of Destiny coded. Okay.
Yeah. The codex is the one thing that is important about the codex that doesn't wipe. Is those DNA subsequence things that I was talking about, the DNA cards.
Yeah.
Once you've achieved one of the vaults, it's on your codex forever, so you don't need to do that next season. That's nice, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything else wipes. Everything. Account, level, loot, factions. You gotta do it all.
Got it.
Yeah. As someone that's never played Marathon, but played ever games within a genre, it seems really hardcore niche, but I guess it's like one of those things you have to actually play yourself to see how it actually feels, but it seems a lot more complex than like Arc Raiders, what I tried out.
Definitely more
not really dad gamer friendly, is it?
Yeah.
Like if you had like 5 kids and 2 wives and 10 dogs, like Marathon, a game I could play while drinking a couple beers on the weekend.
Exactly.
Or am I just going to run into issues?
Probably be too hard for you, Mods.
Yeah. There hasn't been a wipe yet, right?
No,
June I think is the first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, like, as someone who has some experience with this game, do you look forward to those wipes?
I mean, personally, yeah. So one problem with the half wipe thing that Arc Raiders does, it's cool at first, and you're like, oh, cool, I get to wipe my account to go again. I get to do the grind again, fun. But that's just half of the solution to the problem. The problem is there's too much loot in the whole game. The whole game is tons of loot. The economy's filled. Everyone's juiced up. It's really fun to reset with everybody. Like part of when Tarkov was at its absolute peak was when there was wipes. And now that it's a little bit more of a, I mean, I don't know. Tarkov's a little bit confusing now because I don't know what their plans are, but they don't really wipe anymore. Apparently they're going to bring it back or something. But wipes keep games interesting. Extraction
keep it
games,
fresh. Yeah.
They keep it fresh. Every time you see a new economy, you're like, cool. Because that feeling of picking up a rifle early game is amazing. But once you play a game for 100 hours, that picking up that rifle doesn't mean anything anymore. means nothing.
Um,
And that's the problem with the Arc Raiders half wipes is like, oh, you half wipe, and then you take somebody out and they're fully geared, and you're like, okay, you're not supposed to be this geared. Like, what do you mean? It's supposed to be a fresh economy.
Yeah.
So I think everybody looks forward to wipes, personally, even some of the casual players, because it just means you get to do it again, but better, but faster.
It's essentially the game's coming out again for the first time, right? Like people
Yeah.
have the knowledge of what to do and how to do it, but it's the same reason why like PoE wipes for me and for mods are like so awesome, or any ARPG wipe is so
It
fun.
keeps them alive without having that reset, that new things to aspire to, the new things to grind for, the new mechanics. That it just dies out, right? It keeps the game interesting.
Exactly. I will say, Shroud, sorry, you said that you have not finished the raid in Marathon, right?
No.
Okay, I watched
Crimson Desert took
Aztecross.
me away.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people. I was watching Aztecross to it, and I think I got lucky and just tuned in one night last weekend, the first weekend that the raid was out, or the map was out, and I saw his like winning run. That shit was fucking crazy. Like it was insane. They had to wipe like 5 other teams. They had to do all of that crazy shit you were talking about when it came to unlocking all the different vaults and all that shit. I think they killed the boss. They had like 2 minutes left, so they had to run and go grab all the loot because you have to extract with it. And it was insane. It was absolutely insane to watch that.
Yeah, they give you 30 minutes, and it feels like, oh, I could do everything in 30 minutes, and no, you can't. Sometimes if one fight takes a little too long in that game that you watch them play, if one fight took a little bit too long, that's it. They don't get out.
Well, yeah, they were at one point. I want to say they were down to just a single player with both of them dead, and they were in like an air vent. I don't know what part of the map, but they seemed very like it was a pretty relatively well-known thing. And they were in this air vent fighting for their lives, and Aztecross was just like sitting there watching, waiting for the res, and they ended up winning that fight. And that's what, I think was the final fight before they could go do the whatever the boss is at the end. The Sylph. I forgot what his name is. Whatever the final boss is of the map.
Yeah, the compiler or whatever.
Yeah, the compiler. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. It was awesome to watch. I will never be able to do that.
That's some of the sweatiness of the game that like is either you're gonna really love it or you're not, right? You're gonna see that and be like, ooh, that's way too much for me, or you're gonna see that and go, I wanna do that.
Yeah. Well, and the one thing I will say is after they had done it, and I watched a lot of people kind of talk about the map after the event was over, and they all said it was the phrase, it was something that I didn't know that I wanted, but now that I've played it, it's like I'm going to be chasing that high forever. Like they loved the fact that they had to kill all these other teams and be the last team remaining and do all the like PvE aspect of it. And that made me interested to see that experience, but there's no way, like, go back to what you were originally saying about the game, there's no way I'm going to fucking jump in there and be able to do that with all the fucking tryhards that exist on the internet, right? Like, you need like the casual queue, the dad gamer queue or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Their solution to the problem is ranked, I guess, and all of the sweaty players play ranked, and then all the casuals will just continue to grind it out.
Yeah.
In the normal queue, but I don't know if that idea is really working out for them because ranked is only one map. It's one map per week. So, like, what if you just don't want to play that map? You know what I mean? Like, what's on perimeter and you hate perimeter, and now you just like now you got to go bully the dads in casual queue. I guess. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
No, I was just thinking about that. Like, I was thinking about like how you would keep the sweats out of dad casual by asking questions like, "What's a mortgage?"
Explain a mortgage. There you go.
Do you know how to change oil?
It's CAPTCHA, but for old people. Yeah, it's a CAPTCHA, but for old people. Yeah. And I guess the other thing, too, is they might not be able to experience the raid, but if you take those contraband items into this map that you're playing right now that we're watching footage of, they can loot the weapon off of you, right? And and it gets put into, the normal circulation of stuff. As long as someone loots it off the map.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of the hard part though, is like this game is like the skill, like you can definitely be better or worse. You know what I mean? It's not very equally, it's not equal. It's not on equal grounds, and the gear matters too. So like someone that's lightly geared is not going to beat somebody that's purple or gold shields and implants.
Oh,
and
the
contrabanded.
weapon disparity is that large? Like they're just that much better?
The weapon disparity isn't that large. It's more so about the utility that everyone has. Like when you're really, really geared, you'll have good shields, you'll have good heals, you'll have tons of those heals, and you'll have tons of like grenades and equipment.
Okay.
Like how are you supposed to win against somebody that it's not just somebody, it's a whole team.
Right.
That's really hard.
Yeah, you're not going to bring that into a map if your teammates aren't geared as well. Yeah.
The interesting thing is that people are starting to catch on, and I think it's either going to make Marathon have a worse meta or a better meta, I guess, would be as people are catching on how good melee is. So there's a lot of people that are just playing really ratty. So they're just playing kind of in a corner, and there's like a whole team waiting in a corner, and they're playing a melee build, and they just sit there. And then the really geared team is like, they're just a bunch of Chads walking around. They just rush everything.
Yeah.
And they rush in, and then they all get stabbed, and then all the Chads are pissed because like, oh, melee's broken or whatever. So like that's like the only way to win. That's like the only way to win. You can't beat these Chads running around when you have no gear. So just stab them.
I think that's
I think
awesome,
you just sold
though.
the game to me. That's how I want to play. I just want to be aiming up, stabbing people. Let's go,
dude. Get like matching leather jackets and shit, and start snapping like you walked into the wrong neighborhood, pal.
Oh man.
I mean, yeah, the game has tons of like implants and builds and classes that like you could play an invis stealth kind of assassin build, and your goal is to literally stab people, and then you don't even pick a fight at range. You see somebody and you just try to bait them, and that's it. You sit in a corner and you just stab them and literally kill them in 2 shots.
Huh. As a player, I could see how fucking frustrating that would be.
Yeah.
But as someone, thinking about the game and thinking about the like loot roulette that happens in these style of games, I'm kind of glad that exists, to where someone could just rat the fuck out of the best geared person in the lobby and kind of win.
You kind of need it. Yeah. Or else like, cause if there's no potential to do that, the Chads win every single time. They got to lose sometimes.
Yeah.
They have too much gear anyway. Like it's fine. They can handle a loss or two.
They'll get it back. Yeah. That's always like the number one rule, or the first thing you tell someone playing an extraction shooter, like you're going to lose your gear, but your time with it was over, right? Like it's someone else's time now. You had your fun. They're going to have their fun. You'll find another gun here pretty soon. So that's just how it goes.
Yep.
When do you go back to it? When you finish up Crimson Desert, or when they have another update? What's the plan?
I wanted to go back to Marathon this weekend to kill the compiler because I haven't done it yet, and then I don't know, Crimson Desert just like
took over your life.
I just want to keep exploring. It's weird because like it is kind of repetitive, Crimson Desert, but like I just want to keep exploring it. I want to know what, like, you're hoping for that. It's kind of like an extraction shooter where you're kind of trying to chase that high. Like that's kind of what I'm doing with this game. I'm chasing the high, hoping I find something that was really cool and worth the past like 3 or 4 hours of me kind of doing more mundane stuff.
Yeah. No, I get that for sure. We're going to edge people more on the Crimson Desert talk and jump over to mods. Mods, you've been obviously in ARPG land. We were talking about the marathon numbers and whatnot. Last Epoch launched a new, they don't call them seasons, right? What are they?
Yeah, all the ARPGs, they just have their unique naming schemes. Seasons, leagues, they're just trying to be special, but yeah, I think they just call them seasons. It's all the same thing.
Okay.
Honestly, I just whenever I play PoE, I call them seasons to trigger the PoE people, because like that's the Diablo lingo. And whenever I play Diablo, I just call them leagues, and all the Diablo players like, wait, that's not what they're called. They're called seasons, by the way. Oh wait, no, this is a cycle instead. Right. So yeah, you just mix up the naming schemes, and you just see that they're always like boost the chat interaction a little bit.
Gotcha. Well, last Epoch had a new season, cycle, update, expansion, whatever you want to call it. And it didn't like have the biggest turnout, is what I was told.
No.
What happened with Last Epoch's latest update? What's going on?
Oh, are we becoming a Steam chart Andy now?
I feel like the fucking entire. I feel like this show just because of
is this the route we're going to?
The internet is all about numbers, and as much as I like,
only good to have X amount of players on Steam.
As much as I
my goodness,
rebel
you're like
against
one of those bait Twitter accounts now. What is going on over here on Drop Rate?
As much as I rebel against the idea of numbers,
this is an all new low over here. This is an all new low.
No, this is the new fad, man. You got to introduce games with their concurrent.
What I think JP is saying is that it's not getting the player base that it deserves.
That's right.
There you go.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's what you're alluding to. Fair enough. Yeah.
Well, it dominates the conversation, right? The first thing I heard was like, oh, this is not a new league for Last Epoch, or what the new mechanic is it was, yeah, this game's dead. It's got X players, this game's dying. There's no way they make it to blah, blah, blah season. It's gonna, like, it's annoying how much that dominates the conversation, but that's where the internet focuses.
Yeah. Well, right now we can talk about it. Yeah. So right now the ARPG genre, it's very oversaturated with really good games, right? You got PoE 2 just doing really good seasons. Diablo 4, they do stuff. People hope that it's good from time to time. They got a new expansion coming out, right? And if people are they're going to finally turn it around expansion number 2. Then you got Last Epoch, right? He was the indie startup studio that started on Reddit, and it was basically they just worked remotely, right? And they built the game with their community, and people loved that interaction, right? The small studio that succeeded. And I guess they weren't too business savvy. They were going through a bunch of financial issues, right? They had a lot of players, but they just didn't know how to monetize their game. So
the MTX wasn't selling.
Yeah, they focused on developing their game and not developing their monetization. So that was kind of good but bad, because hey, you need money to operate. So I guess they're under financial strain, and they ended up having to seek investors for the game. So they had to sell to Krafton, and then, Krafton, they kind of dicked over the Subnautica devs. And apparently I don't know what happened with the CEO. He consulted a lawyer, and he's I don't know if this lawyer is right. Let me talk to this AI agent.
Yeah.
Go forward with this court case.
It's a whole mess.
They went from basically being the small indie studio, and they were struggling financially, and they had to sell to Krafton. That was going on a bunch of issues there, and they had a promise from Kickstarter, right? Because it was originally a Kickstarter game, and their promise from original time, it's a one-time purchase game. You never have to pay for any other additions. They said, well, this is not financially viable anymore. When the new expansion comes out, it's free, but you got to pay for the new class. And now people are oh, it's pay to win. So anyways, they had all this thing going on in the background, and the new season came out, and people said they weren't going to play anymore based off, integrity or whatever. And
so they never even got their foot in the
numbers,
door.
Yeah.
People are just not buying it out of a moral stance.
Yeah, moral stance, yeah. People didn't even give it a chance. And then also Krafton said they're an AI first company, so that's pretty divisive there.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically I played the season itself was a lot better than last season.
Really?
But it wasn't better than their best season. Okay. But yeah, people are just strung up on other issues that stop them from playing the game. And then, PoE had a really good season too right now, a new league. So yeah, ARPG players, they do hop from game to game a lot, but if there is a good league, they'll stick on one, right? Mm-hmm. And they'll grind that out for a while, and they'll do their challenges and earn their free cosmetics and everything else like that. But yeah, they definitely been going through the swings of trying to convince their players that the company's still around and they're not changing up too much while no longer being a small independent studio, right?
It's kind of how it goes in this day and age, unfortunately.
Sometimes I feel like people have excuses like that, though, where they're oh, I'm not playing because of this. And they just really mean, I don't really want to play right now. And I feel like they should just say that. I swear a majority of people that are oh, I'm not playing because the Steam charts, or oh, I'm not playing because they released a DLC class that I'm not down with that. I just feel like it's okay to just say you're not that interested. I don't know.
Yeah, but on the internet, you have to have a reason, right? And you have to get people agitated and get a response. I think that might be where you hear a lot of that.
But do you though? Because like on
unfortunately,
social media, people tell me I suck and they don't say why.
Oh, yeah, true. You know,
they don't give me reasons. They're just like, you suck. You're an idiot. Why? Yeah. No response. Nothing.
Oh man, that is true.
Online hecklers, man.
You gotta love them. You gotta love them. So what was that like? The update then? What was the big mechanic that they introduced?
So it's pretty traditional standard ARPG.
Yeah.
You have a circle mechanic where mobs spawn, you kill them, and then there's an elite, and then there's like new gear that drops. And they added essentially the corruption mechanic from Path of Exile, which actually the corruption mechanic is kind of cool. It's just like gambling, right? You just basically make an item, you hit it with a piece of currency, and then it either gets a lot better, a lot worse, or it just stayed like mid, right? So it essentially just added a gambling mechanic, and then it could change like implicit base types.
Okay.
Yeah, they actually had a lot of options there. So the major focus was basically the vol mechanic, adding all the different outcomes and stuff like that, and currency items, which a lot of ARPG players just love, right? Because it prolongs like the gear chase, and that's really what we like, right? We like min-maxing our build, just getting more powerful, obtaining that power fantasy, and kind of just going and one-shotting stuff, right?
So is it
the quicker you get killed, the better?
Is the corruption like a last step to an item then that they introduced for extra power? Like where does it fall in the crafting hierarchy of Last Epoch?
Well, so actually, like the outcomes are really, really strong. So you could just start corrupting stuff as soon as you get it, and it could make you like a really strong leveling item. Or it could just brick your leveling item, and you're like, dang, now I don't have a chest piece anymore.
Can you still manipulate it?
No. So once it's corrupted, you can no longer craft.
Okay, so
that's what Last Epoch's known for. Yeah, Last Epoch had the very intuitive crafting system, right? And it's very deterministic, and people love it.
Yeah,
it's like it's a middle ground between Diablo being like dad gamer and PoE being physicist. So you just like open up the window, right? And you just apply your stuff, do your little manipulations, and then that's it. So Last Epoch is like the middle ground of ARPGs. Very intuitive.
Does the corruption uses the what oh god, I haven't played Last Epoch in a season or two. The like item crafting power, I forgot the terminology for it. What is the corruption using?
Your crafting potential, yeah.
Yeah, so, crafting potential,
it consumes all the potential on the item, right? So you no longer craft on it once it's corrupted.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. It's called forging potential.
Yeah, forging potential. There you go. It had been a hot minute for that. Okay. So people are what's like the craziest item you've seen then?
Oh man, I don't know. There's some pretty crazy like plus skill ones. Yeah, just be like Last Epoch. It's all about getting like the exalted affixes, crafting, and then you could like it all depends on your build, right? Yeah, but people are making some super insane items, and then there's also like ward builds, right? Like the discrepancy between life and like your equivalent of energy shield in the game.
Okay,
yeah, just like normal traditional ARPG stuff.
Cool. It seems like they're just pulling from other ARPGs then stuff that's in there when it comes to the crafting and
the ARPGs are always sharing their mechanics. Every single time like one of them lands on a good one, they go, man, we got to do this too. But that's good, right? Because it evolves a genre. Just because one game does something doesn't mean another game shouldn't do their own version of it.
Yeah, the iteration is the important part. They'll put a twist on it that fits their game and everything. So it's good.
Yeah, I never understood that mindset of some players where like if one game implements something good, no studio should implement that again. It's like, no, put it in, just change it a little bit.
That's how games work, right? That's just that's game dev 101 in so many ways. But
how art works.
It's true. It's how art works. Yeah. So you bounced off of Last Epoch. I obviously am in your stream a lot. You didn't bounce off of it because you were tired of the game. You bounced off of it because you were tired of the chat. What happened?
No. So I was just gonna play. I play like the Diablo 3 like reset every time. I'm pretty much the only person that still plays Diablo 3.
Okay.
So I actually got one shot. I was playing hardcore, and they put this new mob in, and I literally just got one shot.
Oh, in Last Epoch?
Yeah, like my main character got one shot, just decimated. Like,
oh no,
it was a brand new mob they put in the game. I guess it's overtuned, no excuses, but yeah, I just got blasted on my character out of existence, dude. Damn. I got humiliated.
I gotta see the clip. Let's see. Can I do
Yeah, I got
exclamation point
absolute-
rip? What's the command? There it
Yeah,
is.
just exclamation mark rip. Yeah, I just got decimated. You know, that's just how it is sometimes. Sometimes you got to get good, and my build just wasn't up to par.
Let's see. I want to watch.
So was it just not fun enough to go again, or you just made that agreement with yourself? Like, I'm doing a one shot kind of till my character dies, and then I'm done with Last Epoch.
Well, I started another build. I didn't really like the other builds, so I was just like, I want to go play like Diablo 3 like I normally do, and then I'll go back to it probably once I get done with finishing Diablo 3. Diablo 3 is just like a couple day game for me, right? You just do like the max clear. It's super quick
A little
nowadays.
guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
So wait, you died from the mob spawning in? It has like a damage radius or something when it crashes in?
No, it had a slam, but it's huge. So notice how like outside of hitbox, it's just a new mob that they put in. Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't the one that flew in. It was the guy that had his like hammer up in the air and slammed the ground.
Yeah, it was the guy that was spinning around when I was moving.
Jesus. Yeah. Okay. That's just a massive slam. Fuck.
Yeah.
That sucks. Yeah. Hey, it's nice that you get the killing blow damage though. You know, PoE could really use that. Not, please, devs.
Yeah, they have a nice death summary in the game. So when you die, you know, like, you know what how much you need to improve your build next time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, your chat is begging to show the second.
Well, technically, I had a second death, but this didn't really influence my decision on Last Epoch.
Okay.
My dog was barking. I went to go feed him a treat when I was leveling up my new character after that guy died. And Last Epoch doesn't have pod mechanics, so my character was just sitting there. He's like low level.
Oh, this is PoE. Wait, I got linked the wrong thing. Oh well.
Yeah.
We'll see it on. You can go watch it on his channel if you guys want to see him die. So you went back to Diablo 3, the old faithful. The Diablo 3 is no longer being devved necessarily, but they're redoing old seasons, right?
Yeah, so it's like basically end of service, but they do like reruns of legacy seasons. So if you ever like, they basically replay old seasons. So if you liked a season that happened many years ago, you just play again for like, I just play for the weekend, right? Like, oh, I really like this mechanic. I play for a little bit. But honestly, I just been thinking of Crimson Desert, man. I was so addicted to Crimson Desert.
It's pretty good. I think we'll jump to it. What? You're playing a frost sork with like meteors or some shit?
Yeah, meteor sork, yeah.
Yeah. Diablo 3 is still a ton of fun if you're just looking for something to kill things in. I played it on the Switch. You ever played on the Switch mods? It's great for like airplane gaming.
I've never played, you know, honestly, I don't really play handheld games. I spend so much time on my computer. I just don't have time to play off stream.
Fair enough.
I used to do handheld gaming like when I was a kid and stuff, but yeah, I don't really have a chance to do handheld gaming anymore.
Yeah, it's wild how well it runs on the. I guess it's an older game, but still runs well on the Switch. And kind of impressive how they translated the control scheme or whatever over to console. You just went AFK on a bunch of mobs. Unbelievable, mods.
Yeah, my dog. You see, my dog was here. Look at him. I'm just petting my dog. Oh, look at my bald spot.
They all just decided to attack you at once.
Well, now after my character died, this is like just like an hour or two in out on the new character. But hypothetically, I didn't like this build. Chat says I intentionally killed my character because I didn't like it, but they can't actually prove that, right?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, they're saying that I assassinated my character because I didn't like it, but there's they can't actually prove this, and I'm saying my dog took priority.
Okay, fair enough.
Needed treats.
Fair enough. Yeah. Diablo 3 is obviously what you've been playing, but Crimson Desert, we've talked about it multiple times. We talked about it last week. Hey, this game got better with time. Zeke, I would honestly compel you to check it out again. Like check Crimson Desert out again. I know you bounced off of it, but
no, I didn't bounce off of it. It was, I knew that there was improvements going to be coming over time, and I was not wrong. Like there's 2 giant improvements, over shit. So I'm like, and I'm in no rush to play it because it's going to be an off-stream game. It's going to be, you know, me like zoning out by myself, you know, just you know, like slack job, like
that's the way to play it. It really is. I mean, that's what
Like
I do
that.
on stream. But funny enough,
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to resonate with a streaming audience as well as it did. I guess I kind of liken it to like Skyrim when it comes to watching. You want to see like what everyone else looks like and what items they have, and then when you see those items, you want to go to wherever it is on the map that they tell you, or you Google where it's at, yada yada yada, and it kind of has like the gear chasing thing to it, I suppose. But yeah, you mentioned the patches last Sunday. That first patch hit and changed a ton of stuff for the better. And then last night at like 10 o'clock, they had another patch come in that MMO devs are on top of staying open and listening to the community because they are absolutely killing it. They added some new mounts last night that you can keep permanently. They changed the way gliding works and gave you more stamina. It's a little bit faster. You can now steal things. One of our biggest complaints on the show last week, you can walk up and steal things and not get penalized if no one sees you.
Really? You don't have to wait. Do you have to put your mask on still? Because I haven't played since the new patch.
Yes, you have to put your mask on, but you don't get a contribution lost. So you can just go around stealing as long as no one's around.
I always thought that was weird that you lost like 5 contribution every single time you're yoinking stuff from people's manor. You're like, oh, look at that shelf. Let me get that.
Yeah, it was stupid.
What's in that box?
It was a pain in the ass. I hated that system. I don't know why it was there. And it seems like they listen to the community. They did even some minor stuff.
Stealing is wrong, JP.
The stealing is wrong, but if no one sees you do it, are you really stealing, or are you just taking something over? You know? Or are you just taking something over?
You're absolutely stealing if no one sees you.
Okay. All right.
That just means you're good at being a thief and a bad guy.
Maybe so. What was the
inspiration for the stamina change was a mod, right? Because I believe a modder made like a reduced stamina thing, and the devs said, hey, this is actually played better, and they implemented it so quickly.
Yes.
Like, I'm actually impressed by it. Like, people are like, oh man, you're really sucking off to Crimson Desert devs. But it's admirable. Like, they actually are listening to the community and they're implementing fixes quickly, right? Like, they're not like sitting on their high horse and be like, we're right, you guys are wrong.
Dude, they're making awesome changes.
Yeah, they're actually making good changes. Like, even like the first patch, like the responsiveness of the game.
It feels, it feels better after last night. They changed.
Yeah, my fun levels went up. Yeah.
The way that you run now, when you press shift, you're immediately at max speed. You don't have to constantly spam it like GTA.
Oh yeah.
So you're just you're immediately going.
Okay, awesome. I like that then.
Yeah, it's a great fucking change. They made the character like spin a little bit faster. In the camp, they added or rather relocated the chest because it's a very minor thing. First off, they added chest for personal inventory, which didn't exist last Sunday, which is awesome. But the chest was behind an NPC, and it was kind of awkward going to the chest every time. So they changed the position of that.
Chuck, Chuck, could you move? Chuck, why are you always standing there, Chuck?
Yeah. It was annoying as shit. And like, they just changed the position of it. And now every time you go to camp, it's right next to where you sleep, which maybe should have been there in the first place, but fucking awesome change. Like, it's the little things, right?
Yeah.
that make all the difference. So I've gabbed about the game. I think we did for like 2 hours last week. So I want to go to Mods and Shroud. Shroud, you're playing it right now. You can't get enough. Are you finished with the story? Like, where are you at content wise? I guess
I'm on chapter 9, I believe. Yeah, I'm on chapter 9, halfway through it. I do this thing where I do a chapter and then I say, okay. I do this thing where I play an open world game, I beat the main story, I stop. So I'm trying to reverse psychology this.
I'm the same way.
So I do a chapter and then I force myself. I'm like, okay, go explore. That's really, I mean, the game is huge. It's awesome to explore. But usually I do that as like do this so you can play the game longer. But now I'm just doing it literally by choice. It's not like I'm not forcing myself anymore. Now I'm just exploring at all times. And I feel like I haven't done the main story in like 3 days.
Yeah. Well, no, I started stream yesterday. Was like, all right, we're doing story. Literally 7 hours later, I'm like, first quest of the day. Because you log in and there's so much you want to, go get this thing going so you can research that thing. And then you someone in chat drops by and they're like, hey, have you seen this item in this place? And you're like, no, I've never been to that side of the map. You just start wandering. It's a hell of a thing.
That's what I love about the game. You just so much unplanned stuff happened. You go in there with like a plan for that day and you just get sidetracked, but it's fun, man. It's slow, fun, and then you're like, oh, I want to go do some combat. Then suddenly you're like 5 hours of puzzles. You're like, when are these puzzles end?
Yeah.
Infinite puzzles everywhere.
Well, and the puzzles
like,
come out of nowhere. You just happen
you're-
upon them, right? It's awesome.
Yeah, you're walking around the woods like, what the heck is this thing over here? Puzzle? Okay. Oh, time to go do some main story quests. You're randomly up in the air in an abyss. Up puzzle. You jump down. Main story quest. Oh, it's a puzzle one. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's go do some combat now.
It's weird to talk about the game because there's so much to see that is like unique that you don't want to spoil it for people. My favorite experience thus far, and I'm going to talk about it somewhat abstractly. My favorite experience thus far is getting lost, not knowing where the fuck I'm at in the like southeast portion of the map. So for those that know, it's like the dragon area, essentially. These like dragon isles. And there's a random thing that's toppled over and smashed. And you go in it and you like solve the puzzle. And then all of a sudden the thing picks itself up and just starts moving while you're inside of it. And this thing goes all the way up into the sky while you're riding, and it's like shifting and you're whirling around trying to stay inside. And it started this whole like 2 to 3 hour thing that I just happened upon. There's no quest. There was nothing. It was just, here's a random thing that you're going to solve. And it's going to open up an entire area for you that has the only reason I went to it was because it looked cool. Right. And you don't get that.
The four pillar area with the dragon nest.
Yeah, like over in that area. It's near the big tree down there. There's like a little.
Well, I haven't gone there yet, JP. You just ruined that for me.
Okay, all right, buddy. Well, that's your loss.
What are these spoilers over here, man?
I was literally
gaming experience.
I was literally there like 30 or 40 minutes ago, and I saw all the dragons flying around. And then since I'm kind of like not really paying attention to the game, I was like, okay, I'll come back at the end of the podcast, and then we could really dive into what's going to happen.
Yeah, you need to go over there.
Yesterday, I wanted to do main yesterday, and I did literally 6 hours of the Abyss puzzles. It just doesn't end.
It's good. I haven't really done too much of the Abyss stuff, actually. Not because I haven't seen it.
What's your completion on it?
I don't. The completion on the whole game? What?
No, like on your Abyss, like in your challenges, if you press J and you go to your challenges.
Oh, it's probably, I don't have the game open right now, but it's probably super low.
Casual.
The thing that I'm furthest along, the thing that I'm furthest along in is the base. I'm like almost 90% done with the base in terms of getting the companions and like upgrading and all that stuff.
Are you though?
Yes, because I've started paying like the $130,000 that it costs, where it's insane amounts of upgrades. And I think I have maxed inventory and stuff like that at 240 slots, like personal slots. So it's good, but there's you can get lost doing one thing very easily if you focus on that, and none of it has to do with main story. So. And that I'm still like, what are your guys' hours on it? I think I might have the smallest amount out of all this. I'm 75 hours in. Shroud, you're at 100 plus, right?
I'm close. I'm almost at 100. I think after today, I'll be like 90 something.
Okay. Mods, you're super far in the story, but I think you haven't done a lot of the side stuff, right?
No, I have done a lot of side stuff, but I focus on the story for actually the story, I felt like it goes really quickly. So yeah, I'm like 80 hours in the game. I haven't played it in a couple days, but yeah, like the first 40 hours was me just doing everything in the first town. Like everyone's ahead of you. Why are you so slow? I'm like, well, I'm just kind of vibing out, just doing all the stuff in the main town. It's kind of fun and stuff. But then I'm actually glad I did the main story because I didn't realize they were nerfing the bosses, right? So apparently I got to do some of the cool bosses before the nerf. Yeah. And they were fun.
I did the chapter 5 boss before the nerf, the monkey guy. He was the only one I got to experience. Everyone else was nerfed.
Yeah. That guy beat the shit out of me, man. I was like, it was a test of my food. Yeah.
That's how do you guys feel about that? The difficulty of the game is closely tied to how much food you have on you.
I don't mind it because it's a little bit more sandboxy. Because it now you just like, for example, I saw Grimm's the other day playing, and he is doing a like no health and stam upgrades plus no pills to revive himself. So like the food, it's up to you. Like if you want to make it a little easier, sure, grind 200 meals and you could do any boss, whatever. But if you want to make it a little harder, you can play your way. So I don't mind it. I kind of like it.
Yeah. Mods, you got any thoughts on it?
I do not think they should have nerfed the bosses because the improvements to controls and everything else like that, like made the game feel a lot more responsive and better. Right, and it's like a grinding game, right? You're supposed to upgrade your gear, and you're supposed to do those mechanics, get your unlocks. So I kind of feel like they nerfed the boss a little bit too soon, and then maybe they could have done like better onboarding, telling people to like go grind stuff and do upgrades and get your earring slot and stuff. I watched some streamers like do that monkey boss after I killed it, and they weren't even using item slot. They didn't have all their items on, you know. They're just, I think Anthony Confit, I want to call him out. I think that dude was stuck on that boss for 10 hours.
It was longer than that. It was longer than that.
Yeah, he was there just getting whooped for like 10 hours. I'm like, why does this guy not just go farm a little bit and then come back to the boss and then do it instead of just keeping throwing stuff, throwing his body at it until he gets it done. But, you know, his persistence was admirable. You know, he did not give up.
He didn't.
That's like the lever that you can play with, though. Like you could make it that hard if you'd like. Even now, even though it's super nerfed, you could just choose to do it a little bit harder. Like it, I enjoyed the game so much that I think in the future I'm probably going to do a playthrough where I purposefully make it harder, and then I'll probably download a mod so I don't need to play Cliff. I could play. There's already mods like that exist now where you can play.
You can do main story with the other characters.
Yeah. You could do main story with the other characters.
Oh.
Like, okay. I'm probably going to do a run like that. I'm going to purposely make it a little bit harder. Maybe no pills. Maybe, you know, just limit yourself in certain ways. I think it nerfing the main story bosses makes a lot of sense. Like, I really do. Because some people, dads and moms, grandpas, grandmas, like, they got a game too. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Right.
True.
Yeah. Yeah, Zeke. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
We got a game too.
Yeah, all the unk gamers.
And then maybe they could put a totem at the boss's entrance, right? And like make it like tied into the witches. The witches make the boss easier for like the dad gamers. So like, you know, like how before like most bosses with like an anvil or grindstone that you like click to boost your gear. Maybe there's a little totem, you click it and it puts on dad gamer mode.
There you
little
go.
nerf boss, and they just have like the normal boss for people that don't want it.
The Crimson Desert way, though, would be to include that totem and not say any fucking thing about it. No explanation. It's just a totem, and people are like, "What does this do?" That's it. That's how the game would function.
No, like I honestly just pictured like the dad game mod totem, whatever, you hit it, and instead of attacking the guy, you just break down their mental, like, you're just like, you're better than this. I'm disappointed in you, like all that shit. And the boss is just like, oh God, it just leaves, just walks away.
That is true. That is true. One thing that really fucked me up, though, by the way, playing this game, I'm curious if Shroud or mods have done it, or Zeke, if you plan to. There's like obviously map genies and things like that, you know, giant databases for the game. I've like been in an area offline and been like, I think I got everything here. I think I like found generally everything in this small little area. So I opened up Map Genie to look. Dude, there's so much fucking hidden things in this game that I would never have discovered if it wasn't for the website saying like there's 5 things right around you that you never saw. Which I guess is like great for repeat playthroughs, but I feel I have a lot of FOMO, like not getting everything for completionist's sake.
It's kind of like Elden Ring in the sense of like there's quest lines that you could go on that most people probably have never seen before. They would have to search it up.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say exploration, but no, you're right with the quest line stuff. That stuff is very niche, right?
How have you been doing that? Have you been looking up guides, JP, or have you been doing like a guideless playthrough? So like you've been using Map Genie for stuff. Have you been doing?
I did it for one piece of gear because I had the piece. I had like the gear set. of a certain gear set, and I was like, man, I really want to complete this gear set, but I have no idea where the fuck to go. And so I went and like looked up where it was and then went over and got it. If I wouldn't have done that, I never would have found this thing. Because they hide the stuff so well because it's so plain, I guess, in terms of the world, that it was a random cave at the bottom of like a massive mountain range that the only way you can see it is if you're looking straight at it. There was nothing like around it to see with your sword or anything like that. It was just pure exploration is the only way I would have found it.
One of those caves that unlocks so after you do like a puzzle, because a lot of the games like that, right? You like do a certain puzzle, then it like shows all the areas on the map of interest without actually going to it.
Oh, so it'll do that for like everything? Because I know it does that for some things.
There's a lot of tie-in stuff for that with the puzzles, yeah, like some of the hidden caves and stuff. I don't think it's everything, but yeah, a lot of points of interest are revealed with puzzles and stuff and side objectives and quests.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that
they seem to chain together a lot. If you liberate one area, it'll chain to another liberation or another quest line somewhere. Like it kind of has you doing everything.
Oh, chat saying it gives you a consumable you have to use. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like the puzzles. That's like the.
Go ahead.
Everyone was talking at once. What were you saying, Mods?
Go ahead, Mods.
It's just like the murals on the wall, like those one puzzles, like where you have to find the orientation of the device, right? And that gives you the consumable. And then it shows you like the points of interest on the map, like the gold veins and stuff, and the caves and those things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Did
you not do those puzzles yet? Did I just spoil that for you?
I only have heard what you said, admittedly, so it's fine. You didn't really spoil it, but I didn't really know that there were things in the game that unveiled other stuff in the game. Yeah, I knew, like, I've happened upon like maps where it'll be like, oh, here's all the blank caves in this area, or like the bells that you can find in towns that will show you the map, but I didn't realize it would go from it would go and show you all the different like caves and stuff.
I actually don't like the bell because it revealed everything and I don't know where I have or have not gone. So you have to like go in like you have to like make a little grid pattern after you click the bell. You're okay, I want to go north, south, back and forth, east, west, and like cover like an entire grid, but then it makes it harder to explore for me because you want to make sure you get every square inch. Yeah.
They don't like gray it out or whatever.
They have fog of war until you find a bell, and the bell reveals the whole area.
That's what I'm saying. When you find the bell, it reveals a lot of shit. But once you go to that shit, it doesn't like gray it out to tell you've been there.
No.
So the thing that it does do is when you look at a location in your map, on the right-hand side, there's 2 dots. And if both of those dots are filled, that means you finished that area. That's the only way I've seen completion stuff. And I had to have chat tell me that because there's no other way to know that it means that.
It's also when you hover over a point of interest, the dot is either filled or it's not, meaning you've been there or you haven't.
Okay. So you can just hover over it. You don't have to click in the compendium.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah.
So like when you go back in and play Ezekiel, like when you go to the towns, you just like you got to look up in the air, like in the sound, and find a bell. And they're just in different points, or like in towers and stuff. And if you ring it, then it reveals the area. But then that also removes the fog of the war, so it kind of worked against you a little bit. Yeah.
In the first 3 hours I played, I found a bell. I'm like, what is this? And I climbed to the top of the bell tower and I rang it. I was like, oh shit, okay, so this is like the reveal the map mechanic.
Yeah. This is not really a spoiler, but I just wanted to show chat. These are all of the things that are like content within the game. It's fucking absurd. Like all of these are like hidden caves or NPCs or items that you can loot, or it's insane. And you can zoom in like that far. Like that's a small town that you can just walk around. And so once you start to like look at how big it is, there's so much shit.
Christ.
Yeah.
Wow, you just ruined the game for me, JP. I just remembered every single one of these spots. I can't believe you.
Yeah, it's over for you. Luckily you're old, so you're gonna be forgetting about 5 minutes.
Stupid photographic memory.
Yeah, unless you have photographic memory. That's exactly right. I will also say the story gets better towards the back half. The first 4 chapters are pretty fucking boring. But the back half is like, I'm kind of interested. I'm around right where Shroud is, chapter 8, chapter 9. Mods are a little bit further than me, but it's not bad. 10. Like towards the, I guess I don't even know if it's the end or the middle of the beginning of the end or whatever you want to call it, but it's not as bad as they made it seem, I guess, in the opening of the game, which was very fucking boring.
I don't know. I never even really thought it was that bad. I just think people associate what the quest has you doing as good or bad. And at the very beginning, they have you doing weird fetch quests. And that's a little odd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like once the fetch quests stop and they feel more like mainline quests, then you're like, oh, it's actually not that bad. Well, I feel like they just, I don't know.
They kind of changed from like fetch quests and escort quests to like, here is a massive battle. And this battle is going to be, a pretty large chunk of a chapter instead of like, go take this fucking pie to this guy.
Right. Yeah, I thought that was a really weird design choice to make it so your first few chapters of your main game and main story is like, go sweep up a chimney. Just super weird. Yep. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's very true.
They're just trying to like onboard people with all the pop-ups, right? Because they're introducing like the different tools and stuff, but that wasn't like the most exciting, right? It's like giving you all the different things. It'd be like in the game, like when you like go to a puzzle or whatever, you're like, what am I going to do to this thing? Punch it, like shine my laser on it, right? Pull on it, right? You're just doing like some litmus tests and stuff. You're like whacking the puzzle with different things. What's going to work here?
Yeah.
Twist it. Yeah. Bop it.
Exactly. It turns into one of those. There was, I had the unfortunate incident of going back into one of the main towns and the guy, the stranger runs up to you and hands you a little card or whatever. And I think I was in chapter 5. He hands you a card and he's like, hey, this is how stamina works. Like, I'm 40 hours in or some shit. Why are you giving me a note card from some random character that I haven't met yet about how stamina works? There seems to be some interesting triggers at work that might need to be finely tuned. But
and then there's a lot of puzzles that just like a lot of people praise this game for no yellow paint, which is cool, but then there's a lot of puzzles that is very yellow paint. It's like it was made by like 2 different people, parts of this game. That's what I feel like.
Which
it's very segmented.
I'm trying to think, like, give me an example of a yellow puzzle if you can, without, I guess, spoiling the answer.
I don't know, the oiling drill, the chocolate factory, the potion making factory.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of the like main quest stuff, there is a lot of yellow paint in that.
Well, they're not even main. None of those are main. I think one of them might be, but I've done like there's a whole I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, it's just side stuff. It doesn't just gets you like a little item. But it is for sure a puzzle, but it just gives you like the context with the shining of the lights and then the yellow paint and
this is for Mods and Shroud. Have either of you happened upon a puzzle that you weren't able to solve and you left? I guess you could always be like, chat, what's the answer? But
yeah, people like, honestly, sometimes people spoil it, but dude, the puzzle I had the hardest time on was this thing where you had I was like going through this library and I smashed this desk and I couldn't find this small object on the ground. I literally walked around this place forever. Be like, okay, so like the premise of the puzzle was you had to like put stuff in a pot, right? And then I'm like, okay, there's different objects. I literally just could not find the object on the ground. And then once I finally found it, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is what I was looking for this entire time. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I didn't.
I've never.
Well, go ahead, Shroud.
I also say I've never really had one that I haven't been able to solve, but I have been stuck on one for I think almost an hour.
Really? I don't know if I've seen.
And it was. This isn't going to spoil the puzzle because it's like a sequence of like if you go in the wrong order, you mess up like the mechanism, so it's all like scrambled, so it's hard to bring it back to the original state. But all you had to kind of do was fast travel, reset the puzzle so that the state is the same, the beginning state, and then solve it from there. And then once I
you're talking
finally
about
did that,
the measurement ones.
it was one of the abyss
ones.
It was one of the abyss ones. I was going crazy. I was just I was turning stuff, moving stuff, and then I slightly misaligned it. And then once it's slightly misaligned, you can't bring it back until you fast travel.
Got it. Okay.
That one drove me mad.
Yeah, I guess to clarify for last week's show, there I was talking about this one puzzle that I spent in the far west area near like the college or the whatever that place is called, the Scholastic. I don't know what the fucking name is. There's a thing where you can like bring pillars to recover a pillar thing, recover like this small area of the town. And then it triggers a cutscene and a boss spawns. Apparently you have to be further ahead in the story for that boss to spawn. And so I did it so early that the boss didn't spawn. And I think there is a quest that leads to that. I just haven't seen it yet because it's like faction based. Or you have to have a certain amount of rep with a faction for the quest to spawn. I'll probably end up figuring out how to get that to trigger, whether it's me looking it up. But the other thing is the internet's kind of been defeated at the moment because a lot of the quests, you can't Google for them because people haven't figured them out or people haven't made a guide for them because there's so fucking many. You can't like just straight up Google it, which may be the best time to play in terms of how to figure that out. So
yeah, I feel like that's why I'm grinding it so much, is like this game seems like a game where you play it too late, everyone's gonna have the answer to everything and know everything. So getting ahead of it now while it's still fresh is good, because I had that problem with Elden Ring. Elden Ring I actually refused to play on launch because it ran so poorly. And I kind of regret that because I played it a year and a half later and I was like, dude, this is the best game I've ever played. And I wish I got to experience it when everyone else did.
Yeah, you were in the zeitgeist of it. You got to experience
the
finding out of everything. Yeah, that's my favorite word, by the way. I could see Zeke smiling as soon as I said it.
He loves that word, that zeitgeist word. He uses it whenever he can. It was his daily calendar ripoff page, like
yep, that's
a
right.
couple years ago, and he just hasn't stopped using it.
That's right. I don't know if you're gonna get that with this game. I mean, maybe you will. It's kind of different than Elden Ring, right? Because Elden Ring, I felt like the exploration was, they didn't do the yellow paint thing that much, I guess, but you kind of knew when you would look at an area that there was going to be a cave there or something in Elden Ring. And this game, I think the terrain is deceptive enough that that's not the case. And until you kind of learn the different clues of like, oh, that's a waterfall that I can go into, unless you know that stuff, then you just think it's a normal waterfall, like 100% of the time. So I guess it is and it isn't, ultimately. It's definitely worth
I just
playing
feel like
before you figure that stuff out.
I just feel like the sense of mystery and exploration, like when you're, I guess this might be a streamer problem more so than like
it's
a
definitely
normal
a streamer problem, yeah.
Yeah, it's a streamer problem, right? Because like later, a year and a half later, when I played Elden Ring during the DLC and I was exploring it, everyone's like, go here, do this boss, go here, now, do this, now. But when I play this game, every now and then someone goes like, yeah, you should try to get this thing that they saw on TikTok or whatever, but it's not that relevant. But in a year, if you play this game for the first time, everyone's going to know everything and they'll just spam your chat where to go. Yeah. And that's just not fun.
Well, it's all, I'm sure you guys get this streaming it. It's awesome when someone joins the stream, it's like, oh man, your character looks so fucking cool. Where is that blank from? Most of the time I can't tell them because I don't, one, remember, or two, I don't know how to adequately say where to go. A lot of the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly just remember someone coming to my stream and making fun of what my character looks like.
You do look like a fucking clown show over here with your goddamn cowboy frills on your suit right here. You got to look. You don't have that the fashion mods.
You know, like my fashion expression. It's unique here. Not everyone has to pick up some generic setup and look like a guard in town. You know.
I've been watching you for the last 10 minutes, Mods, and I gotta say, you're looking good. Don't worry about it.
I think so too. I think you do look good. Everybody has this problem with this game where they all go get the big plated armor and they all just look like a generic armored soldier. Like, okay. Yeah, like JP. Yeah, Jay, come on, man. Like, you're just looking like a soldier. Like, get something a little creative. Like, I'm wearing a cute little raccoon hat right now. I look adorable.
JP looks like his mom dressed him up for battle. Don't die in the war. Good luck, son.
How dare you?
Are you going to play with your friends? Are you going to play with your friends? You're wearing your dress armor. You are not allowed to go outside in your dress armor.
How dare you? I'm on fleek, as the kids say. That's right. Is that still the hip language? I look great. I like that. One of the coolest things about the dye merchant in this game is you can change the material finish on your armor sets and stuff. I guess that's a carryover from BDO, from their MMO. But like, you can make yourself the Mirror Knight from Demon Souls or Dark Souls or whatever, which is, for someone that loves reflections, I went all in on that shit. I
actually like your current armor set. Like the shoulder pad look really cool, and the helmet with the feathering and stuff.
Yeah, I'm chromed out the fucking wazoo.
Where'd you get that, dude? Where'd you get that helmet?
The helmet's from the Southern Steel Mountains. It's funny because you were actually in that area the last time I watched you, and it was so hard not to type in chat and be like, hey, you should go over there, man. Go check that out. Because you walked by it like 10 times, and I was like, he has no fucking idea. Because the game doesn't tell you.
Now when I go back there, I'll be looking for it. But I don't know, when I'm playing the game, I usually just, I don't know about you guys, I just have my sword out. I'm just always flashing, looking for everything. Be right by the reveal stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't tell you that much, though. It's just like the cubes and the fast travels. It doesn't tell you puzzles or secret caves or bosses or anything. You still got to do that and figure it out.
I also get annoyed. I just
go everywhere.
I get annoyed by that because unless you have elevation, you can't see shit. Like if you're in the middle of like a canyon or something and you try to shine your sword to go somewhere, you're not gonna, which I get, right? They don't want to have it be wall hacky. But a lot of times you can't see shit.
Speaking of wall hack, I'm a cheater. No.
I was wondering where you're going with this. I was like, Shroud? Shroud, this is your whole career. It's based off the fact that you can aim.
The reason I was pausing is because I didn't want to spoil something, but it got changed anyway. There's a helmet in the game that made it so you could see every single chest it doesn't matter, 3,000 meters away. It all just little dots. You could see little dots everywhere, and they nerfed that in today's patch.
Oh, I actually saw that on Twitter today. It looked cool. So were you using that to explore?
I was not. I saw it through just a buddy of mine. He showed me it, and I was like, well, that's really cool, but that seems kind of broken. But yeah, they nerfed it, so it's not that. I think it still can look through walls and look at chests, just not like that.
So I don't know what particular helm that is that was doing it, but they did buff another helmet that shows you nearby things. So I don't know if they went a different route with it.
The pirate helmet or like
they buffed the pirate helmet.
Oh, like the pirate and constellation helmet.
Yeah. It's apparently you can see things kind of like I think 10 or 20 meters out, which prior to the patch it was fucking useless. But I don't know if I want to mess with my drip game wearing a goddamn pirate hat with my plate armor. You know, I don't want to look like mods out here. So
I feel like you should just get a pirate outfit going too. You know,
I don't know,
different outfits for different occasions.
Then they're gonna have to put loadouts in the game. Okay, at that point we need loadouts to where you can just put on a whole slew of armor by going over to.
I mean, they should definitely have loadouts. There's a lot of times I have to swap armors all the time for different scenarios.
Yeah. Are you talking about for like resistances or what scenarios are you getting?
Resistances and depending on my if I'm my gathering set versus my potential movement set versus
you're going that hardcore
resistance
with it.
Set. Yeah, well, yeah, because like you can get stuff that gives you doubles and triples of mining and all that. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's just fun.
Yeah,
I think it's cool to make sets.
I agree.
Yeah.
I want them to put in the idea of being able to hide different armor pieces. Like they give you a is it I don't know if this is a spoiler. Mute if you don't want to know about a thing that happens late in the game that is only cosmetic, but you unlock a barber like 60 hours in to come to your camp and you can change like the haircut and stuff, but you never take off your fucking helmet. So the only time you ever see his face is when he's going to sleep, and that's it. So like make it so you can toggle helms or something for cutscenes.
Does your visor go up on your helmet?
No, mine is full thing. And I forgot that I had a porn stash. I've got like a giant porn stash on my character. And so every time he shows when I sleep, it's just him doing this, like laying back with a staring at me. I laugh every fucking time. It's really funny. Also, yes, I did get, everyone's got the fat cat. I know. Mods, do you have a fat cat yet? You got to get a fat cat if you don't.
No, I've been feeding the cats and stuff like that, but I've mostly been doing the dogs. I found like a husky too that I thought was really cool. There's like, like all your different breeds and stuff that you can find in the world.
Yeah. No, it's cool. You can give them armor, which is also awesome. So I've got like a fat cat in plate armor that's walking around.
Yeah, he's really cute. I was watching
it's really fun. They like drop up on your shoulder, or they pop up on your shoulder, and it's really just dumb shit that they added into the game for flavor, and it resonates. So, trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, the big patch last night. One of the things they added was new mounts. So a lot of people are complaining that when you go and fight an animal, you can like ride or mount the animal mid-fight, and it becomes a mount. But the second that you demount, you never see that animal again. And so now they've added a bunch of different ones where you can mount them. And I think it's fucking awesome because I got, we'll say a bear mount. And in combat, when you demount, he fights for you. And that's fucking sick.
Cool. Yeah.
because if you start calling on your companions, then you have your companions with a giant fucking bear, and then your little cat running from body to body, like picking up shit in the middle of the
That's funny.
Yeah,
that happened to me when I started the game. I encountered a bear random in the woods right out attacking it, and it was like I was pretty weak, and then I mounted it. I'm like, dude, this is the coolest thing ever. So I'm like, okay, in order to keep this thing, I have to bring it to the stable. So I rode like across the map, and I jump off the thing, and it started killing everybody. I'm like, wait, no, not the townspeople. Wait, don't do that to them. Yeah. So it's kind of cool that they actually put the bear mount in. Yeah.
What was that? Was that easy?
I said, thus your legend was born. Like a lone rider came out of the woods on a bear.
Yeah.
He just murdered our entire village by letting the bear eat us.
No, it like, look, I finished the fight, and the bear's like, I'm hungry. Starts fucking chewing on people. It's fucking sick.
Oh, so the bear will feed on people.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's so awesome that shit exists in the game. I love that exists.
I wonder if they'll ever put in like an animal husbandry mechanic, like where you could like breed your mounts to like get better stats and stuff.
Maybe.
Just like BDO.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
BDO existed for that. They have like a farm shit where you can.
Yeah, the farm's fun.
Farm is fun. I don't really have anything useful. You have to go and like grab the animals and bring them back. It's a little bit of an annoyance.
Got a bunch of goats.
You got a bunch of goats. I think you can buy. Yeah. You can buy like chickens from the vendor. I think to get the rarer farm animals, you have to raise your rep with a lot of the other stable people. Which I haven't done at all. You just like gift them stuff.
Yeah, rep is super important with a lot of vendors. You'll find like that's where I find a lot of my legendary creatures and stuff is just bribing people essentially by giving them gifts.
Yeah. They also fixed the bank. Speaking of bribes, I went and bribed the banker last night. But when you would give gold to the bank, if it dipped below the price of gold, they would just eat your gold bar. It was just it was a bug. And so there's a place where you can steal gold from people. And I went and did that real quick, got a bunch of gold bars, and then went and fed it to the bank. And now I've got like 3,000 or 4,000 gold, just 3,000 or 4,000 silver just sitting there. And it's good. It didn't bug on me, which is fantastic. And you can steal from them and not get yelled at. So
living a life of thievery, I can't believe it.
Yeah. Did you get
a bit of a spoiler? You could actually make currency like in a lot of ways. There's a lot of gambling in the game, and
there's quite literally gambling. Yeah,
like there's some Some guy, I guess, in my chat, he was like, "I'm just save scumming the thing." He made like 3 million gold out of the guy. He just got them gambling. He did one hand back out, and he just kept them save scumming. He's literally a millionaire in game. Just
So there's apparently an item that helps you cheat at those gambling things, which I haven't seen anything yet. And you can also obviously catch people cheating, which is the best way because those games are pretty hard. Zeke, it's you'd think that they would just put like blackjack in it, but they made up different card games in here.
That doesn't surprise me for this game. It doesn't surprise me that they made up like a couple of different like gambling wise.
There's like 4 or 5 different games that I've seen with like, I think it might be all the same type of game, but they use different symbology or something with like a.
Yet another reason why I won't stream it, because that would be the entire stream. Like one day it would just be me like, all right, let's reload. We didn't win. All right, next game. Let's see.
They're very addicting. They're very addicting.
Oh yeah, you think gambling's addicting? No. What? I can get it anytime. Shut up.
You can also go and play little children in rock paper scissors.
I did that. Yeah, I found kids at the corner and they were like, "Hey, you want to play rock paper scissors?" I was like, "Sure," and I lost. I'm like, "Fucking kid."
Fuck you, kid. Yeah, I wanted to RKO that son of a bitch.
RKO the kid. Like, wow, who's rock now?
If there's a mod out there that lets you RKO anyone, I would get it immediately. I would just be running through the towns, RKOing everyone that pisses me off. Absolutely. The clothesline is also
choose scissors again? You're gonna choose scissors again? I don't think so. Wow.
The clothesline is really good because then you can go from clothesline into like a Zangief spin type deal. Apparently there's an Azuna drop in the game, but I don't know where it's at. I don't know how you get it. It might be on another character that I haven't messed with yet. So it's good. It's a good game, and it seems like they're updating it frequently enough that I think it's got some legs on it for sure. The CEO was also out there this past week saying that there's a potential they want to add co-op to it, which at that point it's like, well, you're just making an MMO, right? Like you're just going back on original plans. But
yeah, I got excited when I saw that. But I think they would do like a different version, right? It would be like GTA Online, so you did like the single player and then the co-op version. I think it would be like this separate entities. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that where they disable maybe main quest or something, but keep all the other stuff. That would be kind of cool, just to go out and explore. Elden Ring proved that was a good thing with that co-op mod that people made for it. So
one game I really liked that came out last year, the free-to-play game, was Where Winds Meet. The only thing I didn't like about it was the time gating. The time gating was horrendous. I hated that, but on legendary difficulty, the game was really fun, and it was kind of like the same premise of this game, just go around and do everything.
It's like I like Where Winds Meet too. Yeah. Thanks for sponsoring me constantly.
Wait, did you have a big sponsorship for it, JP?
Dude, I don't know why, but they come back to me every month. I've got 3 more sponsored streams next week for it because they've got new content coming up. Yeah, that'll be like I want to say they've sponsored me 20 plus streams.
What? That's insane. Wait.
Yeah.
Go tell that guy about me. Put him on a good name.
I will. I'll let you know. I'm like max level and all that shit. I played the shit out of that game. I kind of see similarities between this and Where Winds Meet, Crimson Desert and Where Winds Meet, and on some levels. Did you, by the way, see the newest update? Not to get too #sellout, but it's completely different from the rest of the game. I was talking about it on the show a while back, but Zeke and Cohh don't play Where Winds Meet, so it was just lost on them. It's unlike anything else in the game that you've seen before. You go to like a dream world.
No, I haven't seen that. No.
Yeah, it's wild. I did not expect that from the game. Anyways, I'll do my sponsored bit for them. They want me to do. They're making me play at 10 p.m. on a Wednesday night. That's what I'm doing.
That's called gamer hours. What do you mean?
10 p.m. on a Wednesday night. It's gonna be wild.
What else are you going to be doing at 10 p.m. on Wednesday? Watching anime?
No, I'd be playing League and watching probably your fucking dumb stream is what I'd be doing.
Yeah, it's probably better you don't play League. I think the toxicity's been coming out.
Well, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit. What else? I guess the last thing, you both skipped WoW. You guys are usually kind of WoW gamers. What happened? You skipped the whole expansion. What's going on?
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever not played a WoW expansion ever in my entire life. Yeah, I played from closed beta. Yeah, I am okay. I think I feel liberated a little bit, but also I've been like watching people. You know that meme like where you're watching through the window and you're like touching the window. You're like, I kind of want to go in there, but I don't want to go in. So yeah, it's like I don't know. People just even telling me it's like really good, like that. If you like doing like the Mythic Plus and stuff like that, they're saying that's good, and the other raid like pretty good.
Yeah, so, it's easier this time around. I don't know why they skewed on like easier content, but I don't necessarily mind that, especially because I've been one button tanking. It did try.
I did try. I bought it. I started leveling. But it just, I don't know. I don't know if it's, dude, it's so depressing seeing my bar and having like 8 not 8, it's more like 16, but still like, dude, I was just doing 2-button rotations and that made me so sad. And I know you could just play a different class and there's probably a different class that's a little bit more elaborate, but like, it just hit me that I just don't really want to level to max, because when I was leveling, it was just go run over here, talk to a few people, then go pick up a few books, then go talk to another person, then go pick up a few more books, then talk to another person, go kill 3 things, go pick up another few books, and you level kind of fast. Boom, you're 81, you're 82, you're 83, 84, but you got to get all the way up to 90.
Yeah.
And like, and at that moment, and I did that for a couple hours, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this. Like, it's like, why I'm not having fun leveling, and I know the game's going to get better once I'm like at max, but maybe I'll do it when they have a boost, and then I'll boost up to 9. I was so bored leveling, I couldn't do it. I've never had that happen before, and wow, I don't know why.
Well, you played a lot of, did you play a lot of Burning Crusade Classic? It came out recently?
Yeah, I was playing Burning Crusade at that time as well. And then I think that's kind of why I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to play 2 versions of WoW. So then I was like, all right, I'm going to stop playing Burning Crusade. So I made that. And once I made that like agreement to myself that I'm done with Burning Crusade and not playing WoW, I think that also reinforced the idea of like, you know, maybe my days of WoW are slowly ending. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'm looking for something new.
I mean, you go in and out of it. It's definitely a cyclical game like that. I had a great time using one. I casualed the fuck out of this game. I was doing all the raids by holding 1 button.
Yeah, you're just great parsing.
That's just
yeah. Well, I was main tank, so it didn't matter. Like, what the fuck my damage? I was just sitting there doing nothing.
Like if you're tank, you still have to try to pump damage. Dude, that's the rule. You can't just be going not doing a lot of damage. What?
Mods, we were on the final boss of the newest raid. Final boss, yeah. And
wait, what did you do? Normal, heroic?
Yeah, it was just normals for the first the first week. I guess maybe it was second week. Anyways, I had to go pick up my dog from daycare, so I left to go pick up my dog. And when I was gone, one of the members of the raid was like parsing and looking at all the parses of the boss kills that we've done thus far. And so I got back, and everyone in the raid was like, "Do you have taunt on your bars?" And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, you didn't taunt a single fucking time in the raid so far. And I was like, well, yeah, I've got like Avenger Shield. I don't really need to taunt. I just like attack the mob and I build threat. Like, no, you should be taunting on like first global, you fucking moron. Like, what are you doing? So, I wasn't taunting at all.
That's the current state of World of Warcraft. I don't know.
Normal is really easy. That I wasn't even taunting, and I use 1 button rotation on that shit.
Yeah. To be fair, a lot of people in my family play World of Warcraft. Like the wife plays it, her sister, and her mom, and they've been loving the housing thing. They just all do the housing together.
Yeah. The housing is also big. I'm Shroud. I figured you'd be super into the housing. You know, that's not.
Yeah,
that's your
no,
jam.
I love the housing. In like, for example, ESO, I spent literally like 3 days on my house.
Okay. What happened in WoW?
But
Why not WoW?
I thought I would like it in WoW, but I probably would. Midnight, I haven't really given a chance because I was so painstakingly bored of leveling. It was awful. So maybe, like I said, maybe when there's a boost, I'll boost up and then I'll do the content. But I also just feel like
at the end of the expansion, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But I also feel like I'm looking for something new. Maybe as I get older, I'm looking for newer things. You know?
That doesn't exist in the
like
MMO
other
world,
like
man.
other MMOs or
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
fucked.
like maybe just other MMOs. Like I've played WoW for 20 years. Like maybe I'm just looking for something new.
Well,
I don't know.
if you ever want to play Final Fantasy, let me know. After
That's
you
just
get,
WoW, but in a
new
different
JP.
visual.
after you get through 250 hours of story, which you have to stream all of
Yeah.
it because people are gonna love that on your stream.
No, it would be cool if like a new modern MMO came out that just captivated everybody. There's like a few like indie MMOs that are playtesting and stuff right now. And there's some larger ones, but I don't really know. Like Chrono Odyssey, like those devs are trying to improve their game. Actually, Shroud killed me in that game. I was randomly at like a quest giver at the starting town.
Yeah.
And there's some maniac running around a bomb just blowing up everybody. I was there chilling, like crafting some gear, doing some questing stuff, and I just die. I'm like in shock. I'm like, what the heck is this? And like like Shroud killed you, Keck W. I'm like, and I got Shroud.
Like the entirety of that playtest, I just started a conga line of explosives. I had all of my viewers, and we just picked up barrels and killed everybody. It was awesome. We were just blowing up everybody in town.
Yeah, I mean, I
That
think
was funny.
in a lot of ways, Crimson is kind of like MMOE, right? Like there's no MMO component to it, but I at least have treated that game around the conversation with friends and everyone's jumping in, discovering things, talking about builds and all that stuff. It's kind of the same, but we're definitely not playing an MMO together. There's a complete disconnect there for sure.
No, it definitely has MMO elements. I mean, the knowledge system in general, how you're kind of like completing everything and trying to pick stuff up and just make the knowledge go up reminds me of like Lost Ark, Aeon 2 as well.
Yeah.
A lot of those Eastern MMOs do that kind of system where you do a lot of collecting and then it increases your power.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know if we'll ever get like the new big, I guess Riot MMOs is like, that's where everyone goes default, right? It's like, oh yeah, Riot MMO is gonna, it's the next thing, whenever that comes out in 2030 or whatever it is that they've scheduled now. I don't really know of any other thing. It's kind of a dying genre. Ultimately, has been for many, many years.
Or there's that Riot MMO that might come out that I don't even know if it exists.
That's what
at
I just
this
said,
point.
mods. You got to pay attention, mods. You got to pay attention.
Yeah.
You're falling behind, old
I like
man.
it.
It's past your bedtime.
Well, I did wake up early.
It's all, look,
watching
it's all right.
play Crimson Desert.
No. This is
zoned out there for a second.
that I appreciate both of you because it's like Cohh is here. Okay, he's playing a game and he has no idea what the fuck we're saying at all times.
Yeah,
it's great.
That was the first time it happened. I was actually just zoning out watching the video.
Oh, that's how it goes. Oh, you're watching you watching Shroud stream, or are you watching me just sitting here before these two bosses?
I'm watching that too. Yeah, I'm watching both things.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
He's very distracted. He's very distracted right now.
Yeah, he's very distracted. He's streamer maxing right now at the moment. Zeke, I know you've been playing. Oh God, now I'm fucking blanking on the thing.
That's all right.
The containment.
Quarantine.
Quarantine. There you go. Yeah. Did you ever find Dan in old quarantine?
I did. On the very last day, he was the first. He was the first customer. I don't know what you want to call it. On the very last day, and we finally found him because that became a running gag in our channel because it's randomized.
Yeah.
Like there's a ton of streamers in this. Most of which I don't know, but like Queso's in it, and there's a few other ones in Dan's Gaming. And I saw I swear to God, every single other like content creator. And then Dan, very last, I finally got him. And I tested the theory. Can you kill somebody in the game while they're being quarantined by hitting them in the balls enough times? And the answer is, I don't think so. Because I hit Dan 10 times right in the nads,
man.
and he didn't die. So either he has iron balls or it doesn't work. but yes, we finally found him. He had, I don't know if he has more voice lines, but he had at least 2. And one of them was like, hey, can we hurry this up? I got a stream to go to. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, Dan. Yeah, sure. And then you send him along on his way either to the quarantine zone or to the firing squad or to the survivors area. And he's like, oh, is this the VIP area? I'm like, oh, okay, thanks, Dan. But I ended up, it was the final day of the quarantine zone, like the end game.
Yeah.
And he was the last, like, I put him in the quarantine. And when you're in quarantine, the reason why you put people in quarantine is because they have middling symptoms, meaning there's green symptoms, yellow, orange symptoms, or red symptoms. Red symptoms is a death sentence, instant kill. Oh. Orange symptoms, you wait to see if they get better or worse after a day. So I put him in the quarantine zone, and they give you late game, they give you this like shot. It's a limited time use shot, but you can see if someone's infected or not without doing any tests on them. And I did that. The very last thing I did in the game was I went to the quarantine zone to see if Dan was infected, and he was not, but he was still very suspicious. So I turned on the burners in the chamber, and there he is.
Yeah, there's old Dan.
What is that? Dan's gaming rolling on the ground?
Yeah,
that is him.
Yeah, that's old Dan. Doing a nut tap constantly.
I struck him many times.
Yeah.
Just to see if it would kill him, but it never did.
Good Lord.
But they have a great animation. But I ended up burning him just because, just in case.
Yeah, everyone, you should always, just burn
yeah. I mean, honestly, like late game, it costs you $1,000, which is like, man.
You literally did this for like 20 minutes. What? He's just falling over.
I told my chat, I said I would continue to do it to see if someone could die from it. And no, they can't.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But yeah, Quarantine Zone's a fun game. Let's see, how long did it take to reach an ending? It was about, me, 19 hours, but like for most people, probably like
10-ish,
12-ish, 13, something like that.
Yeah.
So what was the premise of that game? You just had to like kill off enough people to win, or like save people?
Actually, it's the opposite. Yeah. Okay. You have to save people. So the premise of the game is the zombie apocalypse is broken out. You're on a checkpoint, and you're the one who has to see if they're infected or not. And you get different tools, progressive tools, as you go on. Like you start with just like a visual examination.
Okay, you also have like meta progression with like different like medical devices that you unlock or whatever.
Exactly. Like every so many days you get like a temperature thermometer. You get a X-ray. You get a all kinds of different tools to test and see if they're zombies. UV light, so on and so forth. And yeah, it's like Papers, Please, but in 3D. And they also give you other like little side stuff that you can do. It's very minor side stuff, but it's like at the beginning of the day, you look at, there's a bulletin board and it says like, look out for, Jack Johnson. Look out for Jack Johnson. He has this, and he has like a chainsaw, and he has some zombie parts. Kill him immediately. And they give you like little things to do every day, like to look out for and shit like that. And they give you a base to upgrade. So like survivor beds, you get more survivor beds, you get more medical, like the medical tent, you get like more med kits. The food, you have to regulate the food, because if you have survivors, they eat every day, and you have to, make sure it's restocked. And it has a minor amount of base building. It also has like this weird. Everybody who's played this game has like the same kind of opinion about this weird like shooter section of the game, where you take control of like a drone with like a machine gun, and like there's a zombie horde coming, and it's just like totally different from the style of the game. The style of the game is like, no timers, checkpoint. You check everybody and send them through. And then there's like, you're in a drone now, blow up these fucking zombies. And you're like, it works, but it's just like weird in the middle of the checkpoint game action. But no, it's really fun. And especially just like, I don't know if I would have nearly as much fun if I wasn't streaming it, because you make fun of the people, you talk about like the people that come through, you make comments on them. You know, eventually you actually check inside their ass to see if they're smuggling shit. And
it's very papers,
like that kind of stuff.
papers, please. But
that
3D.
sounds like me whenever I go to the airport, man. Those
exactly,
people really like me, man.
It's airport sim. Yeah. Exactly right.
And
this game is more sim-like then, right? Like it's just it's that genre a little bit.
Yeah.
So does it have like Twitch integration then?
It does, but only on endless mode. I was playing story mode, and I was like, "Oh, Twitch integration, hooray!" Because then you can have your audience make survivors for you. But in the core game or in the campaign, they are all kind of set because they're like certain people have to be there. There are streamers in there, like the content creators that are in the game. There's crossover with Dead by Daylight, so you'll see some Dead by Daylight people come in and stuff like that. So they can't do it then, but if you do endless mode, apparently I didn't ever do it, but like your audience can make survivors and symptoms and all that kind of shit. And I think they're named after them too. So there is Twitch integration. I just never did it. I never used it.
Cool.
That's kind of cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would you call this what type is? Yeah, someone's in my chat said checkpoint like. Are these checkpoint
game? There's several of them out there. There's like Papers, Please. There's Little
the
Guard. There's like a Contraband Police. Yeah. There's a bunch of these kind of games.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, you like this one better than like Papers, Please, which is like the gold standard for like checkpoint games. I'm like, you know why I do? It's because for two reasons. One, it's in 3D. It's first person, and two, because they give you little like side shit to do, like throughout. Like one of my favorite things was like if you get a zombie in your quarantine, like if you wait enough time, someone infected will turn into a zombie in your quarantine. You take them out and you make them like a pet. Like they sit in a cage and you feed them every day. And then at the end, when the extraction happens, like every 5 days, they have like a convoy come and get everybody. Their zombies are worth $2,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it behooves you to keep a zombie whenever you get one.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm scanning your indie day. For those that don't know, Zeke does indie day every Saturday. You went back to Hellmart. Is that worth chatting about from yesterday?
I didn't go back to it. I didn't ever play it.
Oh, in the 2 hours, was it bugged or something? I'm saying like yesterday in the VOD, you played for 2 hours and then went back at the end for another hour.
Oh, went back at the. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I have like a half an hour or whatever left of the stream, I'll go back to a game I really enjoyed. From the first half or first part, and that was one of them. It was like I left off without getting to the 7th day, which is kind of a mechanic in the game. Like you're supposed to survive in the Hellmart for 7 days. And I was like, you know what? I'll go back. Let's get that 7th day. And we did. And it was worth it because there was an encounter that I really fucking was freaky and well done. But yeah, this is one of those games. It's, I don't know, shop sim, checkout game. Like there's a bunch of these.
There are a lot of these all of a sudden. Yeah.
Yeah. And usually I don't care for them, but this one was all right because it was pretty streamlined and there was a day-night cycle. So it wasn't just checking people out. It was like, during the day, during shop hours, you check people out and you restock your shelves in the grocery store. And then during the night, you fend off attacks from the hellish beasts that want to get in and destroy your shop or destroy you. So it had a good mix of different mechanics. So like it doesn't, the checking out is, I mean, it's tedious, but it doesn't get stale because eventually you go to the night cycle. And that's where like, you board up the doors and you have your axe out and you're waiting for like shit to happen.
Yeah.
So it's got a good mix of different actions that you do in the game.
I'm always surprised when these type of games do so well on stream from like viewer bait point of view. Every time someone streams one of these, people are like, fuck yeah, let's go. And I don't know.
I know,
what it is.
Man. It's so weird.
It's so weird. Like there's like the anime simulator one. There was like the movie one that recently came out. I saw Gassy was playing. I don't know what it is about these games, but people love watching.
And then there was another game that I think is probably worth talking about called Project Songbird.
Okay.
That I might go back to because it had some potential to be something good. The premise of the game is you are a musician who has writer's block, and your agent is like, hey, there's this cabin in the woods, way out in the middle of fucking nowhere, where I've sent many artists and they come back and they write the best music of their life, and they bring the songs back. Okay. So that's the premise of the game, is like, go out to this cabin and get this inspiration and yada yada yada. And then it turns into like trippy horror, like dream sequence, like, you know, stuff like that. All the while you're like trying to shake it off, going like, that's not real. Now I just need a bucket. I need a bucket for water. And you go get the bucket for water. And like that kind of shit. So, and it has some the voice acting in it's really great. The environments in it is pretty cool and creepy. The music in it is actually not bad, because it actually shows like you trying to put together a song at the very beginning, and it just sucks ass. It's so bad. Like, you make the song like, let's add some drums. Here's a bass. Let's put some guitar in. And without knowing it, you just make this like grungy, awful crap. And it's like, and then you explore the place a little bit more, and you get like, you go around and you collect sounds with you. You got a recorder, audio recorder, and you go to like record the sound of a babbling brook, and you record the sound of a woodpecker and something like that. It's like, oh yeah, it's a cool sound. Let's put it in the next song we make or whatever. But I only played it for a couple hours, but it was intriguing enough that I might go back to it and check it out again.
How do you find these indie games? I play a lot of smaller games, but it's mostly like roguelike games, you know?
Sure.
How do you find these type of like indie games?
That's the best part. I don't find them. I have a Discord channel for just indie game suggestions, and I get inundated with people like, try this one, try this one, try this one. Here's another one. Here's another one. Here's one. And they just give them to me. Like, I remind people throughout the week, like, Indie Saturday, give me your indie game suggestions. And I have at least like at the least I have like 15, at the most I have like 40, you know, like to parse through, and I usually put up 8 of them for people to vote on. I look through them and go like, there's a lot of games where I'm like, this isn't for me. Fuck this game. I'll never play it.
Yeah.
But I'll pick 8 of them out of the suggestions for people to vote on during the day. And that's how we go. We just play it until like usually max 2 hours. We play the game. And then we switch it up to whatever the audience has voted for.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, last year, man, I got so addicted to Mega Bonk. I play games like that all the time, but that one just hooked me like crack.
Dude, Mega Bonk was good. On is it the 10th or 11th? Vampire Crawlers comes out. You should play that, mods.
Yeah, I heard. That's good. Chad was actually telling me about that. Vampire Crawlers. Yeah,
that game's gonna be super fucking addicting.
It's gonna be this month of April.
That'll be a lot of fun.
If you want like games that are kind of addictive and low effort, meaning like there's not a bunch of story or anything like that. There's a couple games I can recommend to you that I've played recently. Talked about them on the show already. Scritchy Scratchy, which is a lottery ticket game, and the coin game. The coin game, you can play it 2 ways. One is like survival mode, and one is like birthday mode. Survival mode means you have to eat and sleep and earn money and shit like that. Birthday mode, they just give you all the money you want, and you can play all these like Tilt and Chuck E. Cheese like carnival games, or like that kind of shit. Like, and there's a lot of them in there, so those are fun. Those both are pretty fun little time wasters.
Cool. Yeah. The Scratchy, I almost downloaded after watching you play that fucking trash last week. I was like, oh man, I kind of want to scratch some tickets off. That sounds
it's an incremental progressive game where you scratch lottery tickets, and it's fun.
Yeah, that sounds great.
You can't win real money though, can you? It's just in-game money.
No,
thank God. Thank God for that.
Exactly. Thank God.
Because old Zeke used to have a problem with gambling.
There you go. There you go. That's why Zeke's not allowed around the gotcha games anymore.
No, I'm not. I really have to relegate myself, because in Montana, any bar you can have, like when I used to live in Montana, I live in Colorado now, but like in Montana, any bar could have a casino machine, could have a Keno or a poker machine in them.
Yeah.
And it was just everywhere. And Daddy liked you.
Yeah, that's like when I used to live in Las Vegas, and you'd go to the grocery store and there were slot machines at the grocery store. You know, you'd be getting your chicken and rice, and you're walking out and they just had all that just right there. You're like, okay, this is different.
Probably had people playing on them nonstop too. right? Like
Yeah, it was everywhere. You go to the gas station, you know, you're filling up, they're there. Grocery store.
It's always
Every
hilarious
place,
when
yeah.
you, at least when I would fly into Vegas, they would always have the slots right there in the airport when you get off the plane. The people would
That
like,
always boggled me,
Vegas.
dude.
yeah, dude, the people like run to those machines sometimes off those Southwest flights. It's wild to see the fucking
Yeah, they lose
degenerates.
everything at Vegas, and then on their way out, they lose even more before they get on their plane. It's wonderful.
Yeah, yeah, it's just
It always seems so silly to me because, or not silly, but it seems so just devious to me. Like once you get off the plane, it's like I have, like a lot of people will budget shit for Vegas and be like, I got $2,000, and then you leave the airport, it's like I've got $20 left.
Yep,
to
That's
make
how it
Vegas
is.
work.
that's how it is. One last question, Shroud, for you, only because I'm curious for myself. What's like the next big FPS coming out that you're super looking forward to?
Next big FPS.
I found myself thinking about this, and I don't know what it is.
I don't know. There's a large arsenal of like single player games that are coming out, right? You got like the new Bond game, Fable, GTA supposedly. Trying to work my brain here to see if there's any first person shooters. Dude, I don't know. I don't think there is one right now. They kind of come out randomly. And I feel like as time goes on, these first person shooter games, it's kind of sad. The High Guard situation is a perfect example of it.
Yeah,
Everybody wants Big Corpo to stop sucking. So then Big Corpo, people split off. They make their own company, get some investments. They try to make their own game. Doesn't work. Those people go right back to Big Corpo. And I feel like we're just in this loop because no one's giving these games enough of a chance. So I don't know. I'm in a weird situation where I feel like multiplayer first-person shooter live service titles are going to be AAA devs, maybe like one tier under that and nothing else. I feel like every time we see like a smaller studio try to make it, it just doesn't work.
yeah.
It's tough.
There's the rumor of StarCraft doing some shooter, but I don't think it's been
That's
announced
been a rumor
yet.
for like 20
Yeah.
years.
Well, they
Well,
put out
StarCraft
like
Ghost, but
footage of Ghost. Yeah,
yeah.
Blizzard doesn't have an
there's no-
extraction shooter yet, though.
Yeah,
It'd be kind of
people
cool
were
if there's an
saying
extraction
BlizzCon.
shooter. Yeah, where you play
need
as a
one.
ghost and you get zerglings.
Oh yeah, BlizzCon.
and-
Yeah, we'll probably get something there. Hopefully,
think
maybe
they're-
this will finally happen. They've been talking about this extraction shooter survival game. They've been talking about all sorts of genres that we've heard over the years.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's kind of usually Blizzard nowadays. They look at the trends, and like 3 years later, they release a game within that trend. So
Well, that's
it kind
been
of follows
Blizzard.
suit, you know.
Yeah, Blizzard's been like that forever, right? Like that's where WoW came from with EverQuest and all that stuff. But
Yeah, I feel like the only thing I could think of is keeping your eye on Arc Raiders, keeping your eye on Marathon. I think that one's gonna. I think Marathon's gonna have its biggest season 2 or 3 or 4 down the
Okay.
road, not launch. I think that's gonna be its peak.
yeah,
So I think when it comes to first person shooters, yeah, it's just owned by AAA or like AA or whatever you want to call them devs, and
Yeah.
we just have to wait patiently for really good updates.
where's the Deadlock hype meter at for you?
Deadlock is going to be insane, but we don't know because it's just we don't have a date.
It's whenever Valve.
Like if you were to tell me
decides-
if that was coming out this year, I would say yeah, everybody in the world's going to play that game. I think that game's going to take over
yeah,
literally everything.
I've
I'm a
played
firm
it. It
believer.
makes sense. They're
The
doing the
player
right
numbers
thing.
on that game have been going up like crazy, right? It's been in rounds
It's
for
just
a
in, like,
while, and
test
every single time I
form,
look,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're doing like such sweeping changes to the game that it's just not. I guess they don't feel comfortable, publishing it to the greater
Not
audience.
ready to
but-
monetize yet.
Yeah, yeah. But that game will definitely dominate. I mean, even without it being purely open, they're already averaging like what 150,000 if you want to be a numbers Andy again. It's doing very, very well. So people are chomping at the bit to throw money at it. But what was the other thing? Oh yeah, chat. Someone in chat wanted me to ask you about the recent Counter-Strike changes. Arguably, like one of the biggest changes to Counter-Strike, and I don't even know. Yeah, with the reload stuff. For those that don't know, explain it. I guess for those that don't know, then give me your thoughts on it.
Yeah, so the mag size change in Counter-Strike is really big one. So now you kind of when you reload your gun, rather than it going like into your arbitrary 120 reserve bullets, it just drops the mag like it's a tactical shooter. The whole mag's gone. So if you shoot one bullet, you lose 29.
Yeah.
If your mag size is 30. So they did that on all guns, all the pistols, everything. So now if you reload early, you drop all of your bullets and you only get like 3 or 4 mags, depending on the gun. And I think it's kind of cool. I think it's definitely a unnecessary change, I guess, but it will lead to people spamming their weapons through smokes and just shooting blindly through doors or whatever, maybe a lot less frequently. The one thing that is concerning about it is it's harder for a new player. A new player is going to keep dumping all their mags, and then they're going to get into an actual fight and they're going to have no bullets. But I've always been an advocate of Counter-Strike adapting and changing, and it never has. So when they do stuff like that, I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Personally.
How so that is that already live? Are tournaments already playing on like current patch? How does that work?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, all that's live right now.
How is the pro scene taking that? Are they all super fine with it?
I haven't seen any complaints from the pro scene because it doesn't really matter that much. Like hold on, I'm 10 years old. I'm not we anymore. They I would assume don't really care because you're pretty conscious of your bullet count anyway, you know, so it doesn't really matter that much. You're not like when you're shooting through smokes or doors or shooting for whatever reason, there's always intent when you're a professional player. So like it doesn't really matter. I feel like I don't think they're complaining at all. I haven't seen any complaints.
Okay. Gotcha. And then last question, since everyone loves it, in this current day and age, 2026, Valorant or CSGO?
CSGO.
Oh.
As someone who's honestly, for some dumb fucking reason, keeps finding themselves playing CSGO and Valorant each night, like I'm bouncing back and forth between the two with friends casually, I'm actually curious on your take on this. Or not CSGO, sorry,
man.
CS2. Yeah, I still say CSGO for some reason.
Are you so is this like you pick one game for the rest of your life situation or what?
No, just like what if someone wants to play round-based competitive shooter, what do you tell them to pick up?
Oh man, this is such a complicated question because I would tell them I would tell them
don't bother.
Yeah, attack shooters fucking suck. I would tell them Valorant in all honesty, but yeah, I would be the one that plays CS.
Yeah, okay.
I think as a new player and a new gamer, Zoomer, whatever you want to call them, young kid, Valorant's probably way more up their speed, but I still would choose CS myself.
Okay.
It's weird, even though I'd go against my advice. I don't know.
Yeah. I will say it's been quite an adventure because my league games, I play probably 4 or 5 league games a day, completely toxicity free. There's zero toxicity. I don't understand why, but my league games, there's like, people are super chill. Everyone's very nice. First game of Valorant last night, immediate N-bomb. Immediate misogyny. Just like, I'm saying the first words out of before a bullet is even fired, people are just dropping the N-words. Then I swap over to CSGO. My friend, who happens to be a lady, speaks. There's a guy on the mic that comes over and was like, "Why don't you accept my friend request? I'll take you far away from here." And we're just like, what the fuck? What is going on with these people? It's just just absolute crazy.
Yeah, that sounds like the internet to me.
Yeah. And I'm just like, should we go back to League? Like, there's no toxicity in League of Legends.
I mean, the beauty of League is there's no microphones, right? Or
yeah, there's no voice chat. It's coming.
It really is just it's just the voice chat angle. That's really, really bad, honestly.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
But the nice part I will say about like what you did experience obviously sucks, but the nice part about at least Riot Games is that person probably got a timeout.
Oh,
or
they
a
get
ban or
banned.
something.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you report them, they get banned.
They get reported, they get banned. The downside of CS is nothing happens. That's why I'll always choose Valorant for a new player to play, because like, dude, it's just a safer environment to play in.
Yeah.
Like it really is.
Yeah. Without question. Without question. All right, let's wrap. Let's call it a show. Thank you guys for staying a little bit later than what was gonna just be a 3-hour show. Zeke, start us off. Do some shout outs. Give the old the old Shroud and Mods an example.
Okay, you bet. What's up, everybody? Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to Shroud and DatModz for joining us today. It was an informative and wonderful show. Thank you guys for being here. It was very, very cool. JP, thank you as well for whatever. My name is Ezekiel. You can find me at /Ezekiel_III on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, and Ezekiel the Third, all spelled out, on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. I take Mondays off, so I won't be on tomorrow. But on Tuesday, I think we're going to continue System Shock 2. I've never played through it, so we fired it up on Thursday, so let's continue it tomorrow then, or Tuesday then. And then after that, I don't know what we're playing. I guess we'll find out. Maybe more Project Songbird in the future. We'll see. But thank you for watching. I love you all.
Fantastic. Mods, what do you got going on? Where can people check you out?
Oh man, so I don't know. I'm not really gonna talk about what games I'm playing, but yeah, it was just fun to be on here. JP just hit me up. He didn't give me any info at all. He's just like, "Hey, do you want to come on my podcast?"
That's how it goes.
And then I said, "Yeah, sure." And then he just messaged me a link. And that was basically the entire conversation. Ezekiel, I was on here 3 years ago. He forgot who I was. That's okay. I'm not going to hold it against him.
Who you were.
And then also, Shroud, no legend in the gaming community. Nice to finally talk to him too. Other than that, yeah, the podcast was an absolute blast. So thanks for having me on here. If you ever need someone to not totally fill Cohh Carnage's shoes again, I'm always down to come on and just chat shop or whatever.
Yep, chat shop. That's what they say. Appreciate it, Mods. Shroud, give the people some shout outs. I guess talk to your stream some. Is this weird doing shout outs while you're already live?
Yeah, that I actually when I was
Dan's gaming
joining the podcast at the beginning.
Oh yeah,
look
at Dan's gaming.
I'm doing a shout
out Dan. Then fuck it. Fuck your stream.
Yeah,
shout out Dan's gaming.
Dan. Yeah, wait. Yeah. Variety streamer, dad jokes, all around awesome guy. That's me, by the way. Yeah.
Is it? No, actually, this is you. You're an up and coming streamer. # support small streamers. There you go.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. YouTube.com/Shroud up and coming streamer. You don't even include the Twitch in there, but that's I make.
Well, that's down below. You know?
Yeah. I don't know. No real shout out. Just thank you to JP and Ezekiel. Thank you guys for putting on. I've been on the show before, so thank you for inviting me again. I'm always down to talk games because I love games, and that's just what I do on my channel. No real schedule, no real plan. I just game. So if you want to come over, come over. Appreciate it.
Fantastic. Thank you all. We're out of here. I think we're all going to go play Crimson Desert, or at least me and Shroud are. Mods, are you back to Crimson Desert?
I'm still in Slay the Spire 2's land.
Oh, dude, I also have been playing that off stream as well.
Yeah. Well, I think I stay out of my family because I just ignored them today. But then I want to go play some video games.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Ignore them up. That's it. We'll be back next week. Working on getting old Jeff Kaplan on the show. Talk to him about his new game and all the Overwatch stuff. I used to have a saying with old Jeff Kaplan, and I want to see if he ever heard it back in the Overwatch days. I hope he hasn't. We'll just say that. If you know, you know. We're out of here for now, though. Cohh should be back next week. We'll see what he's been up to and see what everyone else has been playing. We're out. Have a good one. Bye.